Shit. Okay. Wow. Hi.
How'd you like that intro, guys?
That was great. It was very very long and then very short. It went on for a while and then it suddenly stopped.
I caught you off guard.
Yes. I like Pee-wee.
You like? Yeah. Who doesn't like Pee-wee? Yeah. Rip.
He's dead.
Rest in peace. Yeah, it sucks.
God, he is.
He was a gem. We're back, guys. It's Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. If you guys are in the chat, thank you for being here. Almost 50 people already here in the chat. Thank you for Bancroft. I don't know if you did rate us.
He did.
He rated us.
Thank you for rating the channel. Guys, this is the Creative Block. We do this every Thursday night on a rotating schedule. Irene is not here for some reason. I'm sure she'll be here shortly. It goes between our channels and we talk about cool creative stuff. And we also learn while talking about this stuff. That's one of the reasons why I love doing the show. So we learn from you guys in the chat, from each other, just talking about different creative processes and things. And this week we have an awesome special guest on, a man that's been in the creative business for a long time. We're going to talk. I thought this was a perfect topic. We're going to be talking about monsters and how you could kind of beef up your monster character, or why do we use monster type charers, even if
you couldn't have picked a better guest. You couldn't have got a better guest to talk about.
Yeah, this is perfect. So
literally
the guy. We have an intro for him. I guess we could do a drum roll, please. Let's see if this works. A Mr. Peter Samedi.
Hey,
Windows XP
What's up?
Drum roll.
You're right. You couldn't have gotten a better guest. Who the hell else would come on this show other than me?
Confetti.
You and Mr. Big.
I mean, we had
I'm so
Eric
happy to be
Weathers
here.
last
Thank you.
week. We've had Kelsey on a couple of times, but yeah, who else?
That was
Best
a big
guest.
show. Yeah, thank you for being here. Like I said, perfect timing. And speaking of timing, I literally put. I don't know if you've seen. You probably. I'll just throw it out there. You probably haven't seen this show before, Pete, and that's okay.
Oh, I
No
have.
one has.
What the hell is that about?
No one has. But we do these things called PowerPoints on this show.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we're bringing back the '90s PowerPoint,
and it's perfect timing because we get some F's in the chat for the guy that invented PowerPoint. He actually passed recently.
Johnny PowerPoint.
Johnny, let me look up his name so we don't call him Johnny PowerPoint.
Johnny PowerPoint's dead again. They brought him back to life for a
Robert
period. But...
Gaskins invented PowerPoint, and I think he's dead. At least that's the rumor. Okay, so
was there a PowerPoint presentation for
that would have been the best.
His
funeral
for his life? Is like
his photo comes
Here
in and it
he
goes like
is.
and the shriek sound.
Yeah, star wipes.
Yeah, the womp 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 trombone.
Yeah, well, he will be missed. Thank you for all the work you've done. And now your memory lives on with this PowerPoint that we're going to do today on monsters. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe, please. Ring the bell and hit the like. Let's see how many likes we can get on this channel. And before we get started, Pete, I know why you're the perfect guest for this, but why don't you tell people why you're the perfect guest for monsters and kind of a little about what you do for people that don't know out there.
You're pumping my tires, Phil. Building me up. Well, I've got King Cryptid, and King Cryptid is my 7'2", 400-pound baby, and he's gonna be with me for the rest of my life.
Yes,
that must have been a lot of hours in labor.
So I've been told, but I digress.
Do you know that part of the lore yet? King Cryptid's birth?
Yeah, he started off, he was a human being.
Okay.
He was a human being about 500 or so years ago, and he was cursed and betrayed. Turned into King Cryptid, turned into this beastly thing. And he wasn't the King Cryptid that we now all know and love. At first, he was this thing that was transformed into this monster, this nightmarish creature, where he was going to basically live out the rest of his days, all of eternity, in this living nightmare, this waking hell. Damn. And what it is that he'd be killing and consuming anything in sight. People, animals, didn't matter, right? But him on the inside was aware, but powerless to stop it. So that was basically the curse. So 100 or so years of doing this goes by. And eventually someone comes upon him and is like, I know who this guy is. I know the stories. I know that this is that guy. And he takes a chance. He's a very brave individual, takes this chance and bestows this cosmic moonstone upon King Cryptid, which he has above his third eye at this point now. And that restores his inner humanity. Now, King Cryptid has been on a path of redemption ever since, even though he was not responsible for doing the awful things that he did, which inspired so many different legends of folklore. There's a lot of different things about Wendigos and shapeshifters and skinwalkers and this and that, and all attributed to King Cryptid. But King Cryptid, as we learn more and more about him as the series goes on, and we touch upon a couple of things in his origin, and eventually one day we don't get to fully flesh out his origin, because how demystifyingly horrible would that be? You got to keep a little bit of intrigue and mystique.
Definitely.
King Cryptid's origin isn't even fully known unto him. He doesn't remember a whole lot about being human. In fact, one of the only things he does remember is his human name, which was confirmed to him by the person, this Wampanoag shaman named Black Moon, who did give him that moonstone and restored his humanity. And his human name was Crowan, Krowan. And it means a lot to him because it means at one point in time, he wasn't the thing he is now. And maybe that means one day he won't be. Maybe there's a way. But he's had a lot of time to make peace with that fact and thinking, you know what? As I'm like this for Lord knows how long, I might as well do something with it. And the whole point of King Cryptid essentially is he's trying to make his little corner of the world a better place, because there's a lot of awful things that King Cryptid has seen transpire and a lot of things he's helped to prevent. But there was a time where, roughly I'd say around the late 80s, early 90s, he felt like he's been doing this for 400 years. Has he really made a difference? And he kind of has an existential crisis and decides that, you know what, I don't really think I have made much of a difference. I've tried being here, being there, helping these people out and whatever, and there's still so much bad in the world. He kind of has like an It's a Wonderful Life moment, although he's not suicidal. But he feels like, you know, what good have I actually really done? So he just resides himself to his little corner of the world, which is up in the White Mountains of New Hampshire, and decides that that's what I'm going to focus on, and I'll do that. I'll be the protector of this area. Unbeknownst to him, right under his nose, a lot of secret society, government cover-up, etc., weird groups have been building bases in those regions. While he's kind of doing all the different stuff and protecting that corner of the world, different things underneath the surface, literally and figuratively, have been building up. So it comes to a fore, relatively present day. And he's discovering that there's a lot of activity, a lot of strange activity, really ramping up. So what he's seeing is the emergence of, and he's not aware of it yet, but he will be, the emergence of black budget government science with dark magic. The two are now combining. Before it was kind of this slow, you know, it's either like human beings are doing weird stuff, or, you know, there's magic and there's kind of weird creatures every now and then, because there's a hierarchy of cryptids. There's these original kind of cryptids that have been here for a very long time, and then there's cryptids that have been created by magic, and there's cryptids that have been created by science. And now we're seeing that it's all been connected, but King Cryptid is realizing that while he was actually taking kind of some time off from doing the good he was doing, even though he didn't realize it, it did a tremendous amount of good and was actually keeping a lot of this darkness at bay. And him just residing himself to this little small corner of the world actually had a massive impact upon the whole world. So now we see his adventures, they're starting to continue, because he's drawn a line in the sand and is saying, you know what? Can't do this anymore.
He's coming out of retirement.
Yeah.
For one last
Coming back.
Don't call it a comeback. He's been here for years. But literally. And so we got issues 1 to 4 already done. The first issue was drawn by Christian Rossi, the second issue by Nick Hunter, the third by Alex Jovich, and the fourth by Keir Covington, with colors by Christian Rossi. those are done. So if anybody wants to pick them up, you can go to alternacomics.com, pick them up, or you can pick them up on the new campaign that's for issues 5 to 9, and those are going to be out next year. But I got a lot of stories to tell. This is an episodic series, but all the issues connect. All the issues matter. The continuity is there. But every single issue is a story unto itself. So it's not something where you're going to go into it and you had to have read other issues to even understand a hint of what's happening. You can it's old school comics. You can read the story you got right in your hand and go, yeah, I dig this story. And the only reason you want to maybe read the rest or the ones that came before is because you enjoyed the one you just had.
Definitely.
You know, and so there's a lot of stuff that happens in issues 5 to 9 where King Cryptid in the first 4 issues goes from thinking there's something weird occurring, I'm not sure what it is. And in issues 5 to 9, by the time we get to issue 9, King Cryptid is deadly certain that there is something very, very bad going on, and very purposeful as well.
Man, I'm loving the series. Everything that's being put into this, it feels retro. It feels super familiar, but brand new. The artwork that you're putting into this, the creative teams are so spot on nailing this. And as soon as I saw the character and the title, I'm like, I can't wait for this stuff. And just from the printing to the letters, the words in this is awesome. It makes me feel like I'm reading old school comics, but I feel like a little better. Like a lot of those old school comics, I would get bogged down and my eyes would get tired reading them at times. But this stuff, it's just so fun. Like especially the issue where the kids go walking through the forest.
Oh yeah, when they're out searching for King Cryptid and
like you're not afraid to
stuff
change perspectives on the story and still have these characters involved big time in here. It's just very fun. I got the link to Alterna pinged to the top of the chat. The link to the campaign is in the description, guys. Anyone wants to grab this, highly recommend you do. And we're gonna be talking about monsters.
I like the government black budget stuff mixed with magic because I knew about his curse and like the moon stuff. Like by the way, I even follow the moon cycle myself. I have like a whole moon calendar on my phone.
It's a new moon.
Oh, he does.
Right now, it's a new moon. But yeah. Were you trying to make me big so you could see my phone?
No, I was trying to do that.
Like, I didn't know about that aspect of the government black budget stuff with magic, and like, I swear there has to be actual government programs exploring that stuff, whether it's bullshit or not, right? Like whether there's anything to it.
Sure.
I just don't believe there's no way they haven't put the amount of money they use on anything.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been kind of it's been documented. If anything, over the decades, they've been pouring a lot of money into what we would consider metaphysical and magical, you know. But over the years, they've even actually quantified some of it, and it's turned into tangible science. But there's a lot of things, a lot of weird things where you look into it, and it's funny when I watch documentaries from the 70s to the 90s, and there are all these things that are just supposedly, right? And then you watch something about it today, and you're like, yeah, they've admitted it. Some of that has been declassified, you know. So it's really strange the amount of things that have gone into, and it's all usually under the guise of just putting that money into it for defense military spending. But I mean, just the amount of stuff that DARPA's been a part of, holy smokes, it's crazy. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. We touch upon some of it directly and indirectly in King Cryptid. Like issue 6 even kind of touches upon a bit of MK Ultra.
Oh no!
Yeah, and things like that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, used in this project is basically used to create a human hybrid of a griffin, and it creates this dragon humanoid that can
that's what's on that cover, right? You have
That's very cool. And it's this dragon that basically is used or trying to be used as a living weapon to create multiples of these guys to go in there and be used for wartime. But in that issue, one of them breaks out and has a night terror and breaks out of its constraints and in the lab. And it resides. It takes 3 people on top of the Old Man of the Mountain, which is an actual place in Franconia, New Hampshire. We've got a lot of actual geography and places here, and there's even like a issue locations map on the site too. And a lot of different places and pieces in history, like historical fiction is a part of King Cryptid as well. So in this issue, we have King Cryptid going up against this dragon, and he needs some help. So he's going to try to call in some help for this, and who that is, you guys will find out. But in issue 7, it's a lot of fun. We go back a little bit. The issue starts in Dogtown Village in Massachusetts in 1821. And Dogtown Village, I actually lived in modern day Dogtown Village. Awesome. And yeah, Dogtown Village is basically the Cape Ann, Gloucester region of Massachusetts. And there's a lot of stories from that time. It's called Dogtown Village because so many of the people there, they didn't necessarily, they weren't into, I mean, witchcraft is so subjective for Massachusetts. Yeah. But there was a lot of women there who their husbands were fishermen, or they were participating in the war or military or whatever it might have been. So a lot of women were either widowed or alone, and they would have dogs to protect them. So at one point in time, there was the record anyway states that there were more dogs than people. So that's why it was referred to as Dogtown Village. But there was still a lot of rumors of witchcraft, a lot of weird things going on there. And honestly, there's a weird energy over there. When we lived there, it was strange. I think we were haunted in some way, shape, or form. Jeez. But it works its way into the werewolf issue of King Cryptid, number 7. And then, so we have these werewolves, and then we have present day. And most of the issue then takes place in present day. It establishes itself in 1821 and then takes place present day. But there's a lot of stuff that's like that throughout King Cryptid. And the fact that he's so old as well, and Phil, you were mentioning about that issue with number 3 with the kids.
Yeah.
We do have a lot of issues throughout the series planned where we're going to have different flashback type things occur. And there's other aspects too. I don't want to necessarily give it away right now, but there's other aspects within the series where we are going to branch out in a very big way outside of New England again. Because you can't do a cryptid book. You can't have this like monster creature book without getting into every place all over the earth.
Sure.
Yeah, so we're going to be going to all kinds of different regions and all kinds of different times. And we're even going to be eventually leaving the earth at one point too for a couple issues. So yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, it seems like you've been thinking about this for a really long time, and almost sounds like you have like a timeline mapped out too, which is awesome.
Oh, you're gonna go to the home planet of the Mexican alien corpses.
Oh, good grief!
Yeah, they just found.
Yeah, that 1,000-year-old covered in like concrete powder, just random dust.
Yeah. So there's a part like around after he kind of becomes good with the Moonstone where he looks in a mirror and he goes, "Is it a bug or a feature?"
We have the final member of the block is here.
Well, yeah, she was in the chat. She says she thought that dog thing was going in another direction. Yeah, I was trying to wait for a moment to say until they had a famine, and then there wasn't many dogs anymore.
Ooh, that's horrible. Well, here's her intro here.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Hello, everybody.
There she is. It's Irene.
What's up, friends?
You look like Blade.
Yeah. I got these like fancy ass sunglasses, and they have like these stars on the top, and I never wear them, so figured I'd come in style.
You look like the old people that walk around the mall.
Oh, God damn it! People fashion. What are you talking about?
Like with like the Terminator glasses.
Yeah,
she's trying to cover up. She's just trying to cover up all the bloodshot eyes from all the PCP she's been taking.
Yeah, that's right. I've been a bit of a druggie.
Those old people that walk around at the mall, I'd never noticed them. Until I was dating a girl that worked at a mall and had to get there like at open. They're like there before the mall opens. They're in the mall.
It's incredible.
Like, how did you get in here?
Sit on that porch.
Yeah.
Walking.
They've always been there, Phil.
It's like some back rooms kind of thing, like liminal space. They just merge into it. I love that stuff, by the way.
There's an old person NPC spawner just outside.
Yeah. No, at my local Taco Bell, there's a guy who serves the tacos, and he's always so friendly. And he was around 20 years ago, and he hasn't aged today. And I'm like, he's an NPC. Something's going on.
Yeah. I think at everybody's hometown, there's like just an old person, like a upper middle-aged person that has never aged in your entire 30 years of life.
Yeah.
Like, are
They're
you just
lost
part of the
souls.
program?
Their souls in limbo.
They're a
You're
glitch in the
right.
Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now that Irene's here, we can get into the amazing PowerPoint that I made in 20 minutes.
Nice.
And
Hey,
so
Can't wait.
if
that's
there's
gonna
any,
be a record.
if there's any spelling errors, Mercury is in retrograde right now.
What the fuck does that mean?
You
Is
only
it?
get one more day for that excuse, Phil. So
That's
you're
the
lucky.
last
There's
day.
like 3 men on here talking about moon cycles. What is happening?
I know it's
You got to
Jake-
brush up, Rini.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Grief.
I need
my
to get in touch
cycle's
with my feminine
cycling
side.
up with Jake. So what's going on?
It's not feminine to know about
the male
world and the
menstrual
universe.
cycle.
Good
Holy
grief.
shit! Okay.
We're talking about monsters tonight. We got almost 80 people in the chat. Please hit that like button and definitely check out King Cryptid. The link is pinned to the chats, and all of our links are in the description below. So let's get into it. This is slide 1, everybody. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, Alex Baby says if there's any spelling errors, that's actually English too.
I can't
It's
read that.
It's English
Oh my
too.
God.
Blame it on English too.
Holy
It's because your
smokes.
glasses are on.
I don't think I can
It's
chalk
also
this one
dark.
up to retrograde for you, Phil.
This
All
is-
right.
Ugly,
This is a
stong,
terrible
unhuman
slide.
being. Holy smokes, brother.
I didn't even
I
see
can't
it.
even decode that one.
I might not have spell checked this. I told you it took 20 minutes.
The
okay?
Unhumans.
You need
Someone
spell
needs to
check
do-
for strong, my friend? Come on.
20 minutes.
Someone needs
20
to do a
minutes.
book
No,
called
you-
The
All right.
Unhumans.
All right. I applaud the effort. A for effort. F for spelling.
It gets better.
No,
It gets
no,
better.
no participation trophy.
We all know what monsters are. These are just it's monstrous.
that ugly
words
stong
here
on
that don't
human
exist.
beings.
Ugly stong has to be like hashtag ugly stong. That has to be a thing.
Yeah,
Ugly
20 minutes.
song. That's the
All right, let's move
that's
on
the
to-
tagline for this show.
Do I get props for the
For
monster
stretching the
font there?
font.
Jesus.
All right, now this should be good.
You went
All
out
right,
of your
cool.
way to make it ugly, didn't you?
It's
This-
hard to read.
I figured
Yeah,
found this
Alex-
out. This was really interesting. We all know what monsters are. Now I wanted to talk about.
You're a
Okay.
monster for making these fucking slides.
I wanted to talk about using monsters as protagonists. Obviously, you could use them as like cannon fodder and stuff like that. But why do we use them in literature with stories focusing around them? And I learned this, which I thought was cool. The word monster derives originally from the Latin word monstrum, which means a sign of future events, and that can be taken.
or like a prediction of the future. Like I think one thing I know about monsters is they're supposed to reflect like the fear of the age. Like when you had doctors become more of a thing, you had Frankenstein coming along. They used to like rob graves back then to learn anatomy. Couldn't steal all of Phil's future points. Like nuclear war, you got Godzilla right there.
Godzilla, yeah.
You had like mad cow disease, and everyone went crazy about viruses, and then you had all the zombie stuff.
Oh.
And then you had the fear of computers, which led to Lawnmower Man.
Lawnmower Man.
The greatest monster of all
They're bringing
time.
they're
Lawnmower
bringing
Man.
that back. Apparently, the AI bigotry is coming back. There's a movie in some.
Oh, yes.
It's called The Creator. I mean, it might be good, but it's definitely some AI bigotry.
AI bigotry. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Is it
Well,
called Creator, like Grinder, Creator, with an R on the end?
You see that a lot, like in the 80s, right? The dawn of the computer, the internet, and all of the cyberpunk science fiction hacking fears that came out of that as well. Which, I mean, you could technically say those things.
Is there a
are-
hacking monster?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like
Yeah.
a haunted USB stick?
There was
Just a
that
glowing one.
computer ghost from Homestar Runner. I don't know if you guys remember Homestar Runner.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A long time
That's,
ago.
that's right.
Yeah, but I thought that was interesting, which is it's a reflection of future fears, I guess you could say, right?
Mm.
And
Yeah, I mean, well, fiction's a good playground. It's a good sandbox to test out the various ideas you have in terms of how the world might work out, how a certain situation might work out. It's constant. It's human being simulation theory, isn't it? You know, we're constantly simulating reality through stories and working them out. It's just there's some things that occur within certain. That's why I chuckled with AI bigotry. There's some stories where, yeah, I wish they were just gonna be stories. And it's just we're in the midst of something with the AI stuff that I could care less about certain aspects of it. That's not the thing that's scary. There's a lot of things being used in conjunction with AI that give reason to fear, and it's not the AI, it's the people behind it.
Well said.
Really makes you think.
Yeah, with monsters, one thing I was thinking, my one contribution to this PowerPoint is I think there's like a big association with love and affection with monsters, even though they're monsters, and it's usually the creator loving their monster, and that bleeds through into the work and whether they're a good guy or a bad guy. Like, so even Alien, I kind of feel like Ridley Scott and those guys were like, yes, our little phallic bad guy, you're going to be such a good bad guy. That's a good boy.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a certain joy that is derived from creating something that scares people, and it's almost like a mindless control freak thing. Like, look what I created. It's so cool, and it scares people. It kills characters. Like, it can kill people in this really unique and cool way, and you're so proud of it. It's like, this is my evil little baby.
Rini loves all of her demons from Phoenix. She wants to like have a genetically engineered demon one day so she can like keep it in a dog bed on a porch.
I am a big fan of my own little demons. They're adorable.
Yeah, but I guess monsters would pretty much always have creation lore tied in with them. That's like part of it, and like their creator, and then their creator in the story, and then their creator outside of the story, which is like us or whatever. But like Frankenstein, so it's like Mary Shelley is the creator, but then Dr. Frankenstein is the creator within the story. And I think Dr. Frankenstein definitely has some affection for his monster. He's like, fuck yeah, buddy, we did it.
Yeah, that story in general just basically asks the question, are human beings capable of being God?
Oh yeah.
Is that something we can handle?
Can be at least like a shitty god that does like a bad job.
Yeah.
I think that's the opposite. I think that's called a demon.
Oh, yeah.
You know, to link that loving the thing back to King Cryptid, like if something's created through a curse, you think the person that cursed them has like a secret, like, I hope they're doing okay. Like, I hope my creation is doing okay.
No, I think that's where it differs.
Yeah.
Did you think they'd ever have regret? They're like, man, I was having a bad week when I cursed that guy to become an immortal monster.
I mean, I could see that happening, but I think really most people that are going to wield the power of cursing someone else in such a horrible way are pretty comfortable with what they're doing. I don't think there's a lot of remorse there.
It's just a lot of weed, man. That's bad trip.
Oh,
sorry.
Go ahead, Ree. Sorry.
I was gonna tail end off of that. Might King Cryptid ever meet his maker? Would that ever be resolved?
You mean, will he ever die?
Well, he's got two.
Meet the person
Peter was
who
talking a little bit about it before. Was it before you got here, Rini? I think so.
Yeah.
But he said he has kind of two creators. He has the person who cursed him, and then the person who kind of walked the curse back just slightly by giving him a moonstone. So Pete, you can talk about that though.
Oh, they're both dead. Dead.
Yeah, he's outlived them. Right?
Yeah, that was hundreds of years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of AI, this is like a little more to try and put my point, I guess.
Yeah, Chris, I know she wants to know the ending before she begins reading it. I know.
Yeah.
You're right.
But with AI can be a monster too, or it used to be, and now it has kind of shifted. And I feel it. I don't know if other people do, but I'm like nostalgic for old AI, and new AI is like annoying. I really don't like new AI. And
I mean, when Midjourney looked like kind of whack, but it looked,
well, I feel old
like
AI
itself.
old AI is like, crap, the ship's computer closed the door too fast and cut my friend in half.
Man,
she's up to something.
I literally watched 2001: Space Odyssey at the cinema the other day. Like, it was a weird experience, but yeah, I know
Wow,
what
that
you
was
mean.
weird.
And that would fit in where it's a monster. It has a creator, and the creator might have some affection for it and that kind of stuff. But yeah, now it's kind of messy. It's like, and I'm curious to see this movie, The Creator. It's like, what are they going to do with it? Is it going to be like, what's it going to be? Is it going to be like Hal, where it's like kind of that like almost comfortable space of just it's a monster and it's kind of fun and you might have affection for it, or is it going to be more like a biblical apocalypse kind of thing, or what?
Well,
I think
Okay.
we're gonna constantly get utopia AI. We're gonna get, because that's part of the brainwashing process. We're gonna get AI that loves you, AI that's your friend, AI that takes care of everything. I don't think we're
Yeah.
gonna get the true gory AI where it's being
We
controlled
need
by
human
global
rights for the
syndicates.
AI.
Yeah.
It's
With
gonna
legal
it's
tech,
gonna
you
be
can
sympathetic
have rights.
AI. It's gonna be things like that where the
but to a
humans are the
detriment, I
monsters.
think.
Yeah.
Did
You know what?
Go on.
Real quick, sorry. A metaphor for that is this. I think I don't know if they're called sirens, but it's on Ulysses' journey home in the Odyssey. He gets distracted for 20 years on an island because it's perfect, and there's like tons of women, and they all love him. And he's trying to get home to his wife, but he literally pauses on his journey for 20 years and lives in a
Yeah,
paradise.
that's
And then
he meets Calypso. She's a nymph, and so they
yeah,
just bang for 20 years on an island.
yeah. And like
I'd kind of
it's
be
like,
okay with the AI version of that.
Why'd he
Yeah.
leave? Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's not his purpose. His purpose is, so it's
Yeah.
like a distraction. And that's
Distraction.
like what AI, it's like ultimately bad for you, even though seemingly like I can cook for you. It's like, oh, if AI cooks for all humanity for 42 generations and nobody knows how to cook anymore, that's like kind of that's not a utopia. That's a dystopia.
I mean,
Yeah.
speaking of being on pause, I mean, people have AI girlfriends. I don't.
That's more.
I-
Jake says very
I know,
emphatically
I
in,
know.
in
You're
denial
like my
of.
Do you
friend.
know a friend? Is that what
I
that
know
is?
Totally don't
nothing
have an
about
AI
Yeah, but
girlfriend.
basically, like, they get, their lives will be on pause, not really developing as a person, just like feeding all of their nonsense into this AI that's going like, oh, you're great. But there's a weird aspect to those AI girlfriends where you have people who are like, I know this is a computer, I'm just gonna have some fun, and they get really abusive with it. But then they just get really horrible with it. Like, anyway, all of that data ends up being used to train the AI, and then people who aren't using it for that reason and are just like being normal with it, their digital girlfriends start being abusive to them in the same way as trained by the trolley types. So like it feeds back, and you end up having like a people who are just trying to have a fake normal relationship, and they just get like a really abusive
This is
girlfriend.
truly the black hole
This is
of the
weird.
entire history of humanity.
It's all
Mhm.
How the
monsters,
fuck
okay?
are we here?
Everything, all that AI. Well, getting back to that, would you guys consider the agents from the Matrix monsters?
Yeah, it's a
Good question.
What defines a monster?
Because
Is it just
they're artificial
evil-
intelligence.
Yeah.
Is it just would you class an evil, superpowered person
A
as
digital homunculus.
Yeah, they're
monster?
skinwalkers too.
Technically, technically Agent Smith is a skinwalker, just in a sci-fi setting.
Yeah, that's pretty
I
cool
would
way
say
to look
so.
at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, highly intelligent too. I kind of, we'll see here, I kind of classified monsters in like 4 categories, but there's, I'm sure, more. So these are the ones that I wanted to take a look at. Mindless monster, the morphing monster, trapped man, and the redeeming monster. And I broke these down. We could talk about them. And I'm sure there's more. So like an agent is obviously not mindless, super intelligent from the Matrix, right? They
I mean, he's a
disdain for
morphing
you.
monster, right?
Uh,
He can turn into anyone, or he can be
yeah,
any. He
I could
steals
say that.
anyone.
Well, the morphing monster thing we'll take a look at. It's more of like like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing, or like
Okay.
part human. But yeah, agents are interesting because super intelligent, huge disdain for humanity, and want to eradicate humanity too, which is
Well, that's interesting. I wonder, have we defined this yet? Because what defines a monster? Is a monster just something that is monstrous in form, or is it something that is by its nature against humanity. You can have something that is more complex, like it's a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, where when he's Dr. Jekyll, he doesn't want to be against humanity, but Mr. Hyde is different, or like a redeeming monster that might be trying to be better, but their instinct is to be against humanity in general.
I think at the heart of it, to be a monster, you have to have some quality that pushes humanity away, and it could be superficial, just like the looks, right? And we'll get into that. Like someone like Swamp Thing is the trapped man, where on the outside he looks like a monster, and humanity is repelled from him. You know,
Okay.
and a lot
Yeah,
of
like
these instances,
the Phantom of the Opera or whatever.
right? Humanity shuns them for what they look like. So I think that has a lot to do with what monster is. But that's just
Yeah, because I was like, what, like even finding the line, like what isn't, and I was like, is John Travolta in Broken Arrow or Face Off, some of his iconic roles as villains, is he a monster? And I think the answer is no, because he's just John Travolta.
But if he's stealing, is he a skinwalker if he has someone else's face?
Yeah,
No, because
yeah,
he's just John Travolta.
yeah.
Would you define Phantom of the Opera as a monster though? Because that's almost a misunderstood human.
he's one of the original like Universal monsters, right? Phantom of the Opera.
Well, because he does have the repelling, because he has a disfigured face for some reason.
But that's like
Yeah.
humans
Now,
could be
well,
like
now
that.
you're talking about metaphorical monster as opposed to literal monster.
Yeah.
You know.
It could be what society sees as a monster versus what we're defining as a monster right now is more what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess the trapped man isn't like actually a monster. They're just seen as one.
Well, yeah. I mean,
This is the
Hellboy.
guy.
I would say Hellboy is a monster. Would you not?
Oh yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't,
think-
but I can see why you guys would define that.
Rini's trying to make a definition where an actual monster is like an anti-human race entity, like it has intent that is anti-human.
Yeah, and you can't necessarily put a morality upon what is defined as a monster.
Right. I'm getting a little stuck up on, not as in or stuck on this, because it's like, well, in a fantasy setting, for example, what if I just have a race that is different from humans and they look really freaky, but they're intelligent, they're not trying to hurt anybody, right? So
Well, if they're a race, it's like they've evolved to be part of that world, I guess. Like a monster, they're
an
like,
aberration,
almost like one-offs.
Aberration from nature. There you go. That's what defines a monster.
Yeah, because you could actually have a race of monsters, but if they have their own society and everything's normal, then it's almost not a monster in that context.
Right. Yeah, like in Goblin Girl,
it's subjective.
Right? In Plago's Goblin Girl, all the goblins are monsters to us, and they're really ugly. But to them, the beautiful, sexy girl that's in it is the monster to them. They find her hideous. So it's a social thing, in my opinion. So what the standard is, the abnormality that causes shock and fear to the general public, that would be like a monster. So
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Like the who are the X-Men characters that live in the sewers, the Morlocks.
The Morlocks, yeah.
Yeah, they're monsters to society, and that's why they live in the sewers.
Well, it's like the big orc monster green guys from like the Fallout series as well. Like they've become a race essentially, the super mutants, but yeah, they're still, the humans would consider them monsters.
Yeah, something that's an aberrant. Okay.
So that could be part of the definition. Almost is like a monster. They travel alone a lot of times. Like if
that's
if there's
big,
100
like,
of them.
Loneliness.
Yeah,
because they're outcasts.
Definitely outcasts.
And that comes with it. So you get that kind of emotional turmoil that you could bring upon them. You can have fun writing them as a brooding type character, where they're this, even if they're trying to do good, they're still kind of this reluctant hero, So there's a ways to do it, not just setting up it's a monster, it's a villain, and obviously you can have a lot of fun with the storytelling like that too, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be that way. You can have a story where human beings go to another planet and they're the monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ken Japkin in the chat says Moby Dick is a monster. That might be the mindless, but maybe he has a little.
Sure. Yeah. Let's get into that. We do have one super chat here from Shani. Thank you, Shani. Good to see you for $5. Sending the ducks. Thanks for being here. And 82 people in the chat. Thank you guys all for watching.
Hell.
Yeah.
Let's get into this. Let me send you some ducks, Shani.
Oh my god.
That's edging. Never got the climax there. I just wanted to say goose so
Just
bad.
release us. It's painful.
Hopefully, hopefully Pete saw the edging episode.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Pete.
Why do you guys think I don't watch?
People,
Come on,
gotta
Aurora.
always-
You're a
gotta
good
say-
friend.
I can't always be in the chat. I'm usually working, but I have things on in the background.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Sorry for whenever it goes onto my channel, Pete. I try my best.
I appreciate the apology. It means a lot.
All right. We got monsters. So this is the mindless monster. I put a little Solomon Grundy there
Oh, this is fucking atrocious, man.
on the side here.
What?
No sign with the
What are you
red.
seeing,
Or
Greenie?
more spelling.
Oh yeah, it like gives you a headache.
Red and green is Christmas time in Monsterland.
It's a red on gray.
It's coming, people.
Oh.
Yeah, it pops out. It makes your eyes feel like they're
No, the
bleeding.
fuck it doesn't.
Just don't do it in print, Phil. Just don't do it in print. I don't
Yeah,
care
I
what
already
DC
made sense.
Comics does.
We
I
make
sent
a
you
visual
all
Black
that
line
medium,
around it in your
guys.
brain.
We're comic artists, and Phil is a letterer.
Actually,
All right.
Phil is not an artist, I guess. He's technically
No, I'm not.
He gets a
This
pass.
is not an excuse.
Suppose.
88 people. People come here for the colors, okay?
Wait, is this a meme? Allie tries to make PowerPoints to upstage
Yeah.
us, so we're just gonna make all of ours as ugly as possible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So here's a mindless monster in my, I guess, definition or whatever. Kind of key features. No sign of social interaction. Force of nature, like we were talking about, where like the whale, right? Moby Dick. Almost, it represents this force of nature. Views humanity as a threat. I would put like secluded as well, lonely, wants to be alone most of the time, and a low intelligence. And all this may vary. I chose Solomon Grundy. They have in the past, especially like in the Justice League animated series, made him into a very complex character, still with low intelligence, and a very sympathetic character at that too, which is awesome. Great story arc throughout that Bruce Timm Justice League surrounding Solomon Grundy. If you guys haven't watched it, definitely check it out. But this was just one version of a monster. And I see a lot of these types of characters as well being used as villains and fodder a lot of the times. You see a lot of the monsters in the original Fantastic Four run back in the day were very much mindless monsters. And you see this kind of in old school serialized comics where you have like Monsters of the Week type books, right? So there you go.
All my head is thinking is, did they ever try and why didn't an Agent Smith ever escape from the Matrix in a human body and run around like a mindless monster? It's not what you want the conversation to go after this slide, I bet, Phil, but sorry, that's the thought I had in my head.
What a thought.
glad.
Way better sequel to the Matrix.
When you say force of nature too, I feel like that often means they're very OP, and that's like the main threat is for the main character or whatever, is that they might be dumb, but they're super strong or powerful.
Right.
Yeah, super levels of endurance, stamina. It's very difficult to stop them, to kill them. Maybe there's one way to do it. Maybe the character doesn't know yet how to do it. Kind of like a zombie thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think thematically speaking, mindless monsters, zombies are a great example too, and animals like Moby Dick, or zombies like these creations of nature. But I think thematically speaking, usually this type of monster, they have because a good monster represents something in your story, and we talked about the etymology, how that comes from referring to the future, but it could also be just obviously something that currently happens in society that people are scared of, or your story is about a certain subject that people are terrified of. So, for example, in Princess Mononoke, those like demons that all become like, if a creature is dying and they're consumed by hate, they become these like demonic creatures, and they almost become this mindless force of nature because they're so full of hate, and the story is about the rotting nature of hate.
Yeah.
So I think that sort of like thematic connection where the power of a mindless monster is almost derived from this raw thematic element, whether that's like the force of nature, or a plague like zombies represent, or
Yeah.
like
And I think that a lot of the times could be like the absence of humanity, right? And that's where like that, rotting soul thing comes from. You're talking about, where that is taking the thing that makes you human out of you, and this monster doesn't have any of that. So it's the antithesis of being human.
You can even have monsters emerging from the environment if it's been like polluted enough, like it's the anger and hate of the environment coming to life to exact revenge.
Yeah,
Sure.
the personification of all that. Yeah.
Yeah, or like that reminds me of, you guys ever see Fern Gully?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the muck monster guy.
That was
The
was that Tim Curry? That
Yes,
voiced
I hope
that?
so. I mean, it sounded like, I don't think he was credited for it, but yeah, that was the best part of that movie.
all of the Blimes in Holofist were kind of inspired a little bit by by those
Nice.
monsters.
Let me see. Jake's whole vibe was based off of Mercury's retrograde. Makes sense.
Just miscommunication all the way down.
all the time.
Bobby, what quirky mid nonsense is this retrograde BS? Yeah, people don't like.
I don't know either.
Thank
You
for
tell
the
me.
super chat. Nail Bunny, we're $2. This is for Narwhal to buy 2 cups from the store. You only have 1 cup there, Narwhal?
Is it because I'm drinking out of a jug? He's saying pour that
Probably.
water in a cup.
Yeah, I could.
That's at least one up from like drinking a monster and then continuing to drink water out of the same monster can for like a day.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the monsters we're talking about. I was like, what?
It relates in a similar way. I'd never do that, Irene. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah, that's why you brought up
She
this
just-
very specific.
This is
and
my
weird
drinking
thing.
can.
Yeah,
I opens one, I pours it into the drinking can.
Yeah. This yeah.
We're a wacky
This
bunch
this
here.
is for drinking in. This is for coming out.
So quirky.
John says, don't forget monstrous human category for characters like Hannibal Lecter. Definitely. Yeah, kind of like the monster in human skin, the
Is it like sometimes
Psychopath.
monsters, they go, maybe the real monster was the friends you made along the way.
Exactly.
Well,
That's like high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more like psychopath stuff. It's different than what I'm trying to hit home here on, but it totally could be.
It's all about sociopaths now, Phil. Psychopaths are so out of fashion. It's all about.
Oh yeah,
sociopaths.
is it bigoted to call them psychopaths?
Well, no, psychopaths is like
Oh, what the
excess
fuck I
of
want.
feeling, and then a sociopath is like complete lack of feeling.
Oh, the lack of it.
It's like you
Well,
don't care, and you also don't care that you don't care. It's like different levels of like, humanity. I actually think the definition we made earlier, at least me, it makes sense. An aberration of nature and a loner, that applies even to Hannibal Lecter, to a human who's a sociopath, like mass murder or something. So I think that's a great definition for a monster.
All of the mentally ill are monsters.
No, just serial killers and
Jake's
psychopaths.
view. That's Jake's viewing. It doesn't reflect this channel.
Yes, we're very open-minded here.
And then Down Goes Solo for $10. Thank you so much, Down Goes Solo. He says, what's he say here? Unrelated, but would any of you work on a collaborative double-page spread? Working on a two-story ash can. Thought it might look good to have 2 stories / artists clash in the middle.
Oh,
I would
that's
never.
cool.
'Cause I'm not an artist, but what do you guys think?
I think
It
that's
would
a
have
cool
to be
idea.
the end of both stories.
Well, at the end of one and the beginning of the other. So the two artists jam on one spread together.
Like an infinite
Yeah.
swirl.
You know what a cool way to do it is if it was like a relay somehow, like someone passing something to someone else and it switches
Or
to
the
next
page kind of converts over
Yeah.
from one
Cool.
artist to then the other artist taking over the
Story
rest of the
arc
book.
thing.
I could see that.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for the super chats. I'll do a quick little bonk.
That meme looks good. I want to look that up and put it on the background while I'm drawing. Some Dark Souls
Just on
Chiba
loop.
or whatever.
Yeah, the
Shiba.
Cheems. All right, here's this next one. What is this one? Oh, the morphing monster. So I quantified this. I only called it a morphing monster because the alliteration or whatever sounded cool. But a man that lives between man and monster. So you got your Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, your Hulk. I would quantify the Mask as something similar to this as well. Uncontrollable transition, showing duality and the inner ego coming forward. And then also shows emotional corruption. So this also similarly shows what you were talking about, Irene, where the soul was like rotting. Your uncontrollable emotion overtakes you and comes forward. Very much like we see that with the Hulk. Kind of berserker rage type characters like that.
Yeah, I like you put ego and id. I think I'm not that familiar with all the psychology terms, but it could be different parts of our subconscious and your psychology's battling.
Yeah, I mean, it can be part of someone's personality that they're trying to repress as well, and in repressing it becomes more powerful. And then when an event comes along and triggers it, that finally does let it out, it's like you screwed up. Whereas the moral of that story can be you need to learn to control it and live with it properly, like in a Jungian sense, like the shadow. Yeah,
we talked about that.
Like the shadow, yes. Yeah, and even in MBTI personality types, there's such a thing as you have your main MBTI personality type, but then there's the shadow type. That's like for this personality type, for example, if you're an INTJ, there's a shadow of INTJ that is this other personality type that will come out if you're neglecting your true self and if you're not sorting out all your issues. And I think the ego and id, or the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Hulk and Banner kind of situation is just like that. It's very much about what you're repressing blowing up and blowing out of proportion. Can you think of any examples of morphing monster that aren't?
Something big blue and sparkly.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, does that? I think that's the same though. Isn't that part of that character, this mysterious unnamed character's personality that
yeah
and it's repressed?
It totally does fit it with the repressed thing. But like would you consider Venom to be a morphing monster? But like that is another entity that's in him, but it technically comes out and morphs him when he can't keep it at bay. Like,
no, well, Venom embraces it for sure. Like Eddie Brock embraces Venom until then he gets into the storyline where he doesn't.
Venom's kind of like an allegory for addiction.
Sure. Yeah, that's a great observation.
But would you consider a parasite, like there's literally the anime Parasite where he gets it as part of his body and he can work with it? Like, would you consider those morphing monsters, or is there another type which is like a parasitic thing that they have to like? That parasite can be a metaphor for something in their psyche, but it's in that world it is literally a separate being that goes into them.
It could be, if it is actually thematically representing something that the character is struggling with. I don't think it matters much if the setup is that this is a parasite. But if the story itself, the setup is, well, this person is just at odds or is just trying to deal with this external thing entirely, and it's not really, which I don't think is as good of a story personally. I think it should be like the character would have more growth if it's reflecting their own struggles. But then that's not really like the person is a monster. It's an external monster controlling them.
See what you're saying. They've kind of Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on if the person has embraced it or not.
Yeah,
I
'cause
suppose the mask is a separate entity, but sorry, Pete.
yeah. I guess you could say the mask too, right? Because he's under the control of that, and it's the same
Mhm.
thing with the symbiote. Is that he's under the control of the symbiote, so it's kind
Yeah,
of taking over, and that's what's control. But it's seductive, and
Yeah.
the user or the person who's being controlled, the victim, is addicted to that feeling, that empowerment that they
Yeah.
get.
Yeah, I
And
guess Venom and Mask would be
when
more
that symbiote is detached, there are withdrawal like symptoms that are discussed within the stories.
Mhm. Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
Someone brought up werewolves. I would say that's a morphing monster. Yeah,
Oh yeah, werewolves.
yeah.
For sure.
werewolves and what other sort of? There has to be more.
Has there ever been like a bloodthirsty? I mean, I know werewolves themselves are bloodthirsty, but has there ever been a story where? Because usually the werewolf thing is like, I hate when I have to turn into this thing, and they want to run away from it. But has there ever been a story when like someone is looking forward to the night when they get to turn into a werewolf, and they're actually like flying to a major city and putting themselves in a place where there would be loads of people because they're actually going to enjoy becoming
Oh yeah.
the
Well,
monster?
I mean, the Howling touches upon that whole race of werewolves that love being werewolves and having their crazy werewolf orgies.
Woo!
You know, so there's definitely stuff like that. I think when you have these isolated cases of the people who aren't like the pure blood werewolves, or the people who aren't used to it, they just got turned and they don't want to be that thing. You know, you have that kind of storytelling element where it's a fish out of water, but it's someone who doesn't want to try to fit in. Whereas usually fish out of water tales is someone trying to want to fit in, and they just can't. You know, so you get like this person who, well, now you're one of us, and they're like, I don't want to be one of you. You know, so they're kind of horrified by that, and I think it's them coming face to face with the prospect of becoming monstrous is what is repelling to them of what they can potentially be.
You could even have one of these morphing monster stories where they've learned to control it a little bit while they have it, and they've made it into like a profession, like a hitman or something, like a werewolf hitman. So whenever it's the full moon, it's like he's lining up a gig to take someone out. That could
Dude,
be
you would be the perfect werewolf hitman because you know all the cycles of the moon.
There we go. He gets ready for the moon cycle.
Jake is secretly a werewolf hunter.
A werewolf hitman.
Werewolf hitman.
Told us your origin story.
I'm a werehog.
Oh my god, that's Alice Nearby. Get on that. That's the meme for tonight.
The werehog. Every full moon, I go out and start eating worms. Like, I'm gonna really show it to the worms this month.
Oh my god.
Norn Rad says Mr. Hyde. I'm kind of now that I'm hearing what Pete's saying is Mr. Hyde would kind of be more of like a drug addiction thing, would it not?
Oh, totally. I mean, it was commentary on not just, you know, the dangers of medicine and science and whatnot, but I mean, yeah, definitely the aspect of addiction, because he becomes more and more seduced into that feeling, into getting that, to basically drop all inhibitions and have an excuse for it, you know?
But we're still saying that is still a morphing monster, though, right? Like,
but it definitely is a morphing monster, yeah.
Yeah, and we're still classing symbiotic life forms as still a morphing monster type as well.
Oh yeah, because the fact that it grasps on, it latches and converts the
And
victim,
I guess
the
these
host.
ones they have that psychological element. Yes, if it's addiction or if it's id versus whatever the opposite of id is, you know, like ego versus id or something.
Yeah, I loved all these different aspects. All right. Now this one might be my favorite. The trapped man. Someone that's no longer human. Once was at one time, right? Very tragic, haunted by their human memories, a longing for who they once were. Maybe they don't know who they used to be, and they're trying to search for that through memory, through life of this new body that they have. Very sympathetic character. oftentimes a very gothic character. My favorite being Swamp Thing. Super, super emo. I always say is the most emo character in DC.
You know who fits this is RoboCop, and he's also
Yes. Yes.
Interesting.
Is that some Simon Bisley art, by the way?
That is Bisley's Swamp Thing, yeah.
He made the Swamp Thing's head look like a Bionicle's head.
That is such a.
He's a big Bionicles fan. Not a lot of people know
Simon Bisley's a big Bionicle fan.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time.
Oh, I really love those Bionicles, man. I wish they'd bring them back. Can't wait till they do a Bionicle movie.
That's a great Bisley.
Well, apparently, according to Phil, you just do a random Cockney accent and you end up sounding like Bisley.
Pretty much. You know,
Yes, oh,
yeah.
of those barnacles.
You named a whole character in that TV show Space after me. No one watched Space in America. Oh.
No. Someone in chat says Tetsuo. There's also The Thing.
Tetsuo.
That's the Thing is haunted, but he's more human.
Well,
There
yeah,
is-
no,
The
the thing would
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, Thing from Fantastic Four.
Yeah, he's not.
I'm gonna say it. Even Hollow Fist has Hollow Fist at the core of it is like a trapped monster. There's obviously you have the Hollow Buddy. It's a Pokemon thing with holographic creatures, but like there might be like a human trapped inside like a fusion between a hologram that can be commanded, and obviously a human's in there. So it's like you're not just like a monster, but like an AI being commanded around. Like you end up being a servant as well, or like driven by some kind of like programming, and then you're cool. But the human within there is like trying its best to coerce the actions of whatever it is in a way that could turn off the whole system and free himself.
That's cool. Yeah. Would you consider King Cryptid this type of monster here?
Yeah, he definitely fits the bill on some of this stuff. The only thing with him is that he's not necessarily haunted by his human memories, but he's haunted by the fact of knowing that he once was, and it bothers him that he can't remember his time as a human.
Right. Yeah, that stuff really speaks to me. I don't know. I really dig that aspect of these characters because they're usually super powerful, brooding, like very big characters, typically the Thing, Swamp Thing, even King Cryptid, but their kind of I don't know, weakness or kryptonite or the thing that gets them is this mystery about them, or just the longing to be human again. Like Swamp Thing, you see that where he loves this human and he can't be with her because he's a monster, and in fact they did a story arc, and I think it was Alan Moore's run, where Abigail, his girlfriend, gets arrested for having relations with him because he's a monster. And
bestiality.
Yeah, it was totally stuff like that. And then she's arrested in Gotham. He like overgrows Gotham with vegetation, and then everybody in the city starts like going back to tribalistic days and started running around naked.
Oh, that's wild.
Should have just moved to Spain. Would be fine.
He just needs to hook up with Poison Ivy and then just tame her.
That's true. Yeah.
He can fix her.
Yeah, it's like a taming of the shrew, and just play that out.
She just needs real love
between Swamp Thing and Poison Ivy.
Yeah, chat's been fucking great. People have been bringing us so many great examples, but like I agree that Swamp Rush, the Trap Man is also one of my favorite types of monster, and I think it's because it's so relatable, because at its core, it's kind of hearkening to this feeling of people regret what they their paths in life. It's almost this feeling of I have so many regrets, what I could have been. I'm haunted by my hopes and dreams that I once had, and so many people, they let go of what they wanted to be. It's like, oh, someone wanted to be a pilot, but then they're like, I have to be responsible and then just do what society tells me to raise family or whatever, and they let go of those things. I think that's why it's so relatable and also clearly it's sympathetic if we could put ourselves in the shoes of someone that was like their heart is still human almost, but their exterior and maybe even their memories aren't.
I mean, you can flip it and get some good drama out of a story by having a character that's a monster hunter, and then obviously later realizes that the things he was killing were trapped men style monsters, and there might have been a way to have saved them. Then you can explore, like, they could turn in from a hunter to trying to fix them, but maybe he learns that you can't. I don't know. Like in a zombie movie, can you bring the zombies back to human before a certain point or not?
Oh my god, someone in chat said femto, and that just made me realize, I just had a fucking epiphany. If Casca had been turned into this, Berserk would have been 200 times better.
If she hadn't just been her being a dum-dum, she was just like trapped.
Yeah, like everybody knows that my only
form.
singular problem with Berserk is Casca. If she had become a trapped woman and become something else, that would have been. But it's just, that's my thought. Someone also mentioned Mamoru Kusanagi, which, yes, I think that is true. Where it doesn't seem that way because she's a cyborg. But if you know Ghost in the Shell, a huge through line is that she misses her humanity. And there's all these things about why does she insist on staying in using this cyborg body that is this very sensual woman? Well, it's because she wants to remind herself of her humanity. She likes to remind, like, when she sees people react to her sexual appearance, it makes her feel more human. And she doesn't want to use a male cyborg model just because it would be more powerful, because she wants to remind herself, I am a woman, this is what I used to be. So she's like a trap monster in a way, but she's found a way to adapt to it. She's found a use in society. But she really is also one of these. She's an example of this. Love it.
Someone that I think pushes the envelope with this, but kind of applies to a couple of the things here, would be Darth Vader.
Yeah.
It's like he didn't. It's like a character where, because they've changed form visually or whatever, even though they haven't actually transformed into a new monster, it's like they can take on a new persona. Now they have the new shell, and they could almost descend that way. Like if he'd been made human looking, he probably might not have descended like he did.
Yeah,
it's funny because in his case, he basically loses his humanity and then within himself spiritually, and then loses his human essence physically.
Right.
Yeah.
Transformed by hate.
That debate between him and Luke is basically saying, you're a trapped man category of monster. And he's like, no, I'm not. I'm mindless. You're a trapped man.
It is too late for me, my son.
That's exactly what he said.
Doesn't he have does Darth Vader have an alarm on his body that randomly goes off and wakes him up all the time, so he can't even get proper sleep?
It's like sleep apnea machine. like a CPAP.
Snoring. The ultimate snorer. He's actually asleep half the time when he's standing there.
That's what the breathing sound is. Yeah, that's when he's asleep.
if
he's narcoleptic.
He jars awake. He goes, what are you talking about?
Totally diffused.
I was absolutely listening. How dare you?
Someone said, "Well, Ghost in the Shell is sci-fi, so it's not a monster story." Well, just like how Darth Vader is monsters. Yeah, a monster doesn't have to
Agent Smith
be,
is a monster.
All right, like it even have different elements of any type of character within. It doesn't.
Xenomorph is a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of think Hal from 2001 is a monster. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I really like the idea of the character having a repellent of humanity from either side, either their side or from humanity pushing them away. That is kind of something that seemingly all of these characters have in common, that we signify as monstrosities.
They're losing their humanity. Not just that they're anti-human, they're losing their own humanity.
Yeah, and like Swamp Thing, like outside humanity rejects him. Same thing with Hellboy here. Humanity rejects him just because how he looks. And this is another interesting type of monster. With Hellboy, the redeeming monster, he's literally born to bring about the destruction of the world. He rejects that through humanity, redeems himself, and learns from humanity to be human, even though he doesn't look it, and he chooses good rather than what he was destined to do. Which is an interesting aspect.
It's kind of fun just to spout off examples when you think of them, but Beauty and the Beast is like this too.
Yeah,
Well, he
I mean,
was
he was
who
trapped.
Or he's trapped. He might be trapped too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a trapped monster. But I mean, also
he's a bit of both because
Yeah.
he's trying to be on a path of redemption,
Mhm.
but he's only really on that path of redemption once Belle makes an appearance,
Yeah,
because he's like, oh yeah,
dead ass.
I'm falling in love. Is basically what his thing is.
He's like,
you know?
God damn it! I could have been a cool monster forever, but if it wasn't for this stupid woman making me
There's
want to be a
reasons
human
to
and
live.
fall in love with her.
Why should humanity and feelings matter? So stupid.
Yeah, I could be a cool monster guy.
He was just an incel, and then he met a real girl.
Yeah. Oh, finally, not a crazy blue-hair bitch.
That's why he
I'm
was
playing
going all over
Fortnite.
the
Leave me alone.
Shape of Water.
Ooh, Shape of
Huh.
Water.
Yeah, I think so. Though,
Great film. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that character's a monster. He's rejected by humanity, captured, tortured, experimented on, and is, I guess, just
The
good
Kingpin?
throughout the whole thing. And kind of
Yeah.
similar to the Beauty and the Beast thing, finds a mute girl that he wants to bang. And then
pretty much.
Mhm.
he doesn't really
wasn't
do
so
any
much
good.
evil.
He just saves her. That's
I know
that's-
he's very neutral, but it's more of a commentary on society. Like society is like this evil thing that we can experiment on, but he's just this
Right, so-
neutral creature.
Well, that's another thing where I guess would be a good characteristic is society doesn't understand it, so it fears it.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, so in a way, you have almost all the X-Men in this.
Oh, yeah.
In this thing here,
We're just expanding our definition.
not
of monster.
necessarily destined to be evil, but
Right.
The
Yeah. Yeah.
stock
instilling
market, the
fear.
banking system.
The government, society
Oh,
in
well,
general.
They
That's
don't understand it, so
that's
they fear it.
irredeemable monster.
Yeah, the irredeemable monster
right.
of the
Oh,
stock
no.
High finance,
market. Yeah.
Down with modernity.
international banks.
Did you
This
guys-
one, this one could be tragic too. It could be a last bullet point where it says, "Born human, destined to be evil, chooses to do good, maybe learns from
Is
humanity, but
rejected.
then
Right.
reverts back to evil." Doesn't quite.
Yeah, I
make
mean
it.
that could be a path, right?
Jamie Lannister.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a crazy path. But yeah, I mean, any of these things could take turns and become tragic. I mean, you have like the mindless monster path that Grundy takes in the Justice League series does definitely become tragic. Like they wrote that so well in the end.
God, imagine
Yeah,
if you had a mindless monster that the more bad it did, the more of its mind it got back, and the only way to maintain like its human mind was to actually be a dick, like go around killing people. And it's like,
Crazy
I'll
curse.
choose not to be evil, but then in doing that, obviously like loses his mind, like his human memories,
Well,
and
if-
becomes
Ooh.
If
like
they
he
actually
chooses that
want-
fate.
Yeah, but if that's such a character, so what is stopping a character who actually wants to do good but knows that the only way to keep their humanity is by doing that? Why wouldn't they just end themselves? You have to come up with a reason.
Well, in that story, I bet they would. Like it would be like a really somber. They chose to do good, but in doing that, like they were not rewarded. They were punished, but they accept that punishment. Like they take it on as a burden. Like they choose that. They choose to no longer exist. I guess in the path of not doing evil.
Or it could be like an even more heightened Punisher or Dexter thing where they have to kill people, but they choose these specific people they think deserve to be killed to maintain
Like the
their-
Hitman Werewolf.
Hitman Werewolf.
Exactly.
There you go. We're forming a concept. This is going to be the first creative block IP.
Yeah, the Howl comics, I was literally thinking it just as you typed it. The T-800 from Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I like
Need
that.
more
That's
robot
cool.
monsters. Is Johnny Five a monster? I suppose all of the evil Johnny Fives is a monster.
I guess Johnny 5 would be a monster.
Yeah,
Right?
he's a redeeming monster, Johnny Five. As long as he
Yeah.
gets enough input.
Need more input. He needs to just dance to the Bee Gees some more.
I love Johnny Five. So
What do you
much.
think of Sloth from the Goonies? He's definitely a monstrosity.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he is supposed to be doing evil, but doesn't wanna.
He just wants
Yeah.
candy bars.
Is Ted from Ted a trapped man?
Ted.
The bear.
I don't think he's a trap
Oh,
man. He's not
no.
a human being at all, right? Or a soul.
They shoved Seth
Annoying.
MacFarlane inside a bear. They took his brain and all his organs, and they sewed him into a bear.
I don't think that's how.
Is that how they did that?
That's how they did it at the beginning of the
incredible.
film. Patrick Stewart said on the narration, "I'm really fed up with Seth MacFarlane, and I'm going to magically put him into a bear."
I never really paid that close attention to that film. Sloth is a man. He's a man.
So how dare you?
Ooh, this is Etrigan. Etrigan the demon.
Who's that?
Gone, form of man, rise the demon
Demon
Etrigan.
He's Jack Kirby's finest creation.
Who's that? Good grief.
You know, I love Etrigan. He's a Jason Blood man tethered to a demon of Camelot time, and when he says a rhyme, turns into Etrigan. But when some lore, they change places. He comes to Earth, and Jason Blood goes to hell. But I would say, kind of be a morphing monster because he's a duality figure, a man of two sides. I would say.
Would like a haunted object be a trapped man, like a ghost in a sword that like what made the person holding it like chop off more heads to gain power?
That sounds cool.
Feed me heads.
Should write these down, Jason.
Is that what the
Wait,
Highlander was
Yeah.
about?
I don't know. Was it?
I don't know.
I thought that was about Queen.
He's good as coming up with just zany monster ideas.
It's fun. You just take Phil's given us all the building
Yeah.
blocks of making up monsters, and it's
It
like,
is a little
okay,
No, this is
tiring, yeah, 'cause-
every episode. Jake's always like, "Oh, we could do this thing," and then he
Hey,
spouts
let's
out
do
an
this.
idea for something,
Could I
and he never
stop?
writes them
It's-
down.
Yeah.
It's a genre, so it's like
Yeah.
plug and play. You could do what's it called where you write down the words and then you read it later and it's hilarious. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
like a
Mad
Mad Lib.
Libs?
yeah, you
Oh,
could do like
yeah.
a Mad Lib, whatever.
I don't have a scarcity mindset for ideas, Phil, so they can go off into the ether.
Okay, I'm stealing them all.
Yeah.
Do it.
Lumiere, that's from Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, aren't those all humans?
Yeah, right. They're all under that spell, that curse.
I think they're the real monsters because they're the ones who like raised him to be such a shit. Like, isn't that the
I've
story?
heard that
Like,
theory before. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're being punished. That is the story.
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
being
yeah.
punished for raising
Really?
this asshole.
yeah.
They're all the monsters.
And they're like, if that little asshole doesn't redeem himself, you're all fucked forever. And they're like,
Yeah,
oh
what about-
no.
Chip was just a little baby, wasn't he? So
No, he was
sad.
the worst one of all. He was supposed to be friends with him, but he pushed him down the stairs and stuff.
Oh no. What do you guys think about this? And we talked about Magneto being kind of a anti-villain. What do you think of Magneto? Would you consider Magneto a monster?
I feel like that this is getting a little subjective because we're expanding monster to like anything that is not a very normie human. But I could see that. But
All emos
don't-
are monsters. Everyone with pink hair is now a monster. Everyone
Well-
who looked at someone, anyone who made eye contact on the subway is now classed as a monster.
Yeah,
Long bang.
Anyone who's
our
putting the
X-Men
toilet paper on the other side.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
All
Oh, no.
monsters.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say.
I'd say
okay.
no, but it's the question like, are even all the X-Men monsters? And I think a few of them are like Nightcrawler and Beast,
Yeah.
and they're bummed about that they
Yeah. Well,
always
and
Well, if it's
Beast was trying to find a cure and then turns himself into the Beast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're actual aberrations of humanity. Magneto's just
Um,
a person
Yeah.
who chooses to do shitty things.
I think especially what we're talking about here tonight, a lot of some mutants feel it and are classified more as monsters than others. Like Rogue, you know, she can't touch people, but
Yeah.
she could still be a supermodel, you know.
I think for most people with monsters, it's going to be, and these are words coming out around nowadays because of all the alien talk. Non-human biological entities is basically what a monster is. I think to most people, and
So
as soon as you
owls?
turn it into a
Okay.
monster, you know, so
Yeah.
it's
Owl?
because otherwise we start imposing morality upon monsters, and I mean you could do that, but
Mhm.
then there's a lot of people then obviously that would classify as being monsters. But I don't think that's what we're driving at for the most part.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it elves and dwarves monsters. It has to be something that's corrupting nature, in my opinion.
corruption of.
Aberration.
All right, well, that's the last slide. guys.
Oh, well, thank
Nice.
heavens. I'm gonna stop looking at.
Now, for the next 2 hours, let's all start making up random monsters.
Let's go! Yay!
What if Agent Smith left the Matrix through like a baby human that just got born by printing his brain into the baby, and then he
That-
grew up in
It's
the
like a
wastelands of the
reincarnation thing,
Matrix?
Guys,
Oh, it would.
I have a little Mad Lib here, so we can do that just while we're doing other stuff. But I need a name.
You need a name.
Johnny.
Johnny,
Yeah.
You just took that from.
and I need a verb.
Dead.
Sucked.
What?
Wait. Oh yeah, that's describing word.
Dead.
Yeah, dead.
Good
Yeah.
job, Jake. Sucked.
I'm going to dead.
Stong. No,
I'm gonna dead myself.
Stong.
Yes.
Strong.
Stong.
Run. Do that.
Eating
I need
sugar.
an adjective now too.
Fiercely.
Stong. Use stong for that.
Stong.
That's an adjective.
Johnny
That's it.
strongly sucked fiercely.
Jovially.
Yeah. No, I need like a regular adjective. That's it. Fiercely is an adverb, I think.
Oh, well. Whatever.
English is your third language.
Just, I don't know these fucking terms. Whatever.
It's a verb in English too.
Brokenly. It's gonna go solo.
I just thought of a really horrible one. I'm not gonna say
Vigorously.
it rhymes with that.
Oh man, I forgot to go live on Rumble. Damn it!
Inconspicuously.
Sorry, everybody on
Strongly
Rumble.
sucked
Guys,
in.
we have broken 100 views, which is amazing.
Rumbo.
I hope you guys enjoyed the monster talk. What do you guys think for my 20-minute PowerPoint? Besides the
It
first
was more than
slide.
20 minutes. You did good.
Well, how I took, it took me 20 minutes to make.
It was very well. I think you broke down the subject in a great way. Great discussion. That was an atrocious looking PowerPoint, though.
I appreciate it.
Dear
We should-
God,
the worst
please
looking
never do that again.
Possible just to spite
It was
Allie.
monstrous.
So
It's
Hey!
ugly.
There you go. The PowerPoint itself was a goddamn travesty.
Aberration.
It was it a trapped man? Was it a morphing monster?
It's a mindless
Uh,
monster, I think.
The mindless.
It's mindless. If you guys love
I need a number.
52.
17.
God.
59,000.
69.
Oh my god, Pete.
Nice.
If you guys loved the monster talk and you want to explore more monsters in comics,
100
definitely
viewers.
check out
Woo!
King Cryptid, which you could get now on Indiegogo. Is this the only place you could get the new ones, Pete?
No, you can get them on alternacomics.com as well,
Oh,
or you can
nice.
go right to alternacomics.com/King Cryptid, and you can get 5 to 9 on there as well. You can also get 1 to 4 on either one. 5 to 9, $15, and 1 to 4, you can basically get those for $8. If you get them both, On the Indiegogo campaign, I signed the issues as well, so you can get 1 to 9 for $25. They're all signed. That's 200 pages of story. But I recommend, if you want, try out 1 to 4. Get it on the Alterna site. Get it shipped out to you. If you dig them, you enjoy them. You want to get 5 to 9 and whatever else is on the campaign, then go for it after that.
Why isn't his original human name Christopher Tidd?
I don't want a human Christopher Tidd to sue me.
Christopher Tidd.
So it was like 500 years ago. He's probably there weren't any European people around.
Oh, Christopher.
Yeah, there were definitely no European people around 500 years ago. Europe was invented in 1845.
Yeah.
Guys, I need
My
a-
name's Christopher Tidd, and I'm going to become King Cryptid one day.
1500s. Did they know about? No, they knew about America. They're only Vikings.
I need a body part.
Leg.
Down goes Solo. For trades, you're going to be waiting a long time, 10 years. I'm not doing a trade of King Cryptid for 10 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yes,
I like it.
Stuck on it.
Dude, yeah.
Get them
You
single
gotta-
issues. It's meant to be enjoyed in single issue format.
You're going to love them. It's so fun. And the link to the Alterna site is pinned to the chat, guys. And the rest of our stuff we're working on as well. Lost Pages is in the description. Just caught up on all my letters. I'm waiting for more colored pages to come in here. And we'll do a little
I'm not going to pull it up.
chill, I guess, before we go into the second half. We do
I need one more adjective.
Let me just Google what an adjective
Did you use
is.
Stong already?
Please use Stong.
Strongly.
I have used
A,
Stone.
a word
Stong,
naming
okay.
a word naming an attribute of a noun, such as sweet, red, or technical. Bulbous.
Bulbous. That is good. We're so close now to 40K. Look at that. Less than $300.
Those
on-
edging
oh,
is
nice.
edging to 40K.
Yes.
So, you know.
And when we get there, I think did I add more pages? I don't think I did. But I added lettered pages. Yeah, I lettered this up. So I'm all caught up on letters. We have I think like 20 pages left to this book. It's gonna be 82 pages. It's insane amount of story packed into this. And there's some monsters in this one as well. So you got Wastoid is a monster. Krim is an imaginary monster, I guess you could say. All these
Is Wastoid like a trapped man? Is he just like a guy in there? And he's like, I wish I could just take a shower.
You'll have to read to find out.
He just
What
needs
kind
some
of
Irish
monster these
Spring.
guys have.
Yeah, he just needs spritz of Febreze. He'll be
Axe.
fine.
And then we got these little mental monsters that crawl around inside of Jasmine's head that Krim's going to be fighting as well. So check that out. If we get to 40K, or when we get to 40K, everybody knows we unlock that badass Kenneth Rocafort card. Let's see this one. Look at that.
I'm looking forward to Lost Pages 7 when she gets trapped in her own head and he ends up controlling her body. And he's like, oh my god, this is so weird.
I'm going to write that
He
down.
just spends all day squishing her boobs.
I need
Yes, that's exactly what guys
is.
would do.
Mine are a lot firmer than this, usually.
I need a noun, which is like a type of discipline, like karate, but not something like that. If you guys know, it could be anything.
Cooking.
Cooking.
Porn star. I don't know.
Also, check out
Yeah,
Try to
Rotten
be as dirty as
Spencer.
possible.
fiendishcomic.com.
Hey, it's in the title. It's a comic that's full of fiends. So if you like monsters, if you like this talk, this is a perfect comic for you. I have chapter 2, both chapter 2 and 1 available for pre-orders in the shop right now on the website store, along with a bunch of other goodies. So yeah, check it out. My fantasy mystery comic Fiendish. Thank you.
And don't you have a launch coming up that you want to totally build hype for right now?
I do. My God, thank you, Jacobs. Yeah, I'm launching in like a week. Chapter 2.5 is coming next. It should be on Fund My Comic. That's a supplemental story that will explore part of the backstory of Casimir, the main character, after his hometown was destroyed by demons and he had to live on with survivor's guilt and kind of find a new direction in life So it's a 25-page book. It's shorter than the main books, and it's kind of out of continuity, but it'll help your understanding of the main books a lot. The artist I hired is Michael Rushbrook. This is something I wrote. I'm coloring it, but Michael Rushbrook drew it. All the inks are already done, and I just finished coloring the cover, and I'm really, really happy with how it's looking. So, yeah, I think people are going to really enjoy this extra little story, and it'll be launching in just a week's time.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and sign up for the email.
cover
So
looks
on
awesome.
the front, yes, I just finished it. I'm very, very proud of it. On the front page of the website right here, there's an email list. So I'm using that for email sign up. So sign up there if you want to be notified on launch.
Sweet.
I need a verb and a name because
Jesus.
Johnny was not a good name.
Spanking Tanya.
Demosthenes.
Okay.
Is that a better name?
Yes.
Janie. Wow, Connell the Barbarian. So this week I've been completely caveman mode, and I've been doing loads of layout revisions, and I've been having the best time. And the look here are some unfinished layouts. And after doing this, look, it's like a redraw of stuff I've already done, but neater. And I think I've finally thought of like a good pitch. Where is a good page? Look, this page, people would have seen this before, but this was on the other side, and this scene didn't exist. But yeah, all of the things that we do talk about on this show has slowly been teaching me how to write better. And so I'm like constantly making revisions to this, and from my point of view, it's getting really good. But I finally figured out a pitch. So in the world of Deploria, adventurers can gain points for adventuring, adventuring. But when adventurers adventure, not exactly as adventurers should, they lose points. And our friend Connell here has lost a lot of points. So he may be in seclusion, avoiding banishment in the Simonian forest, waiting for an opportunity to emerge to redeeming self. And that opportunity might finally have come about when an army of evil blorks invade the human kingdom of Humanistan and start invading his forest. Will he actually pull it off and save the day, or will he screw it up royally? You can find out by signing up. You can go to connellcomic.com or bluedickex.com and put your email address in that sign-up bar, and then you'll get news on the project, and also when you eventually back it, because you're obviously gonna, you'll get like a super cool trading card, like every other content.
Woo! I feel like the end, if the question of will he screw it up royally, that might be quite literal. He might literally screw it royally.
Watch him insert himself into a whole new adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
He's gonna insert himself into a hole.
Oh my god.
He does that too.
He does. Funnily enough, the story does have him exploring a lot of holes.
He runs out of a giant hole.
With being
he does come out of a giant hole.
Yeah,
oh my
perfect.
god! It's all there's so much unintentional theme going on. There's a lot of decapitations I've realized. So there's a lot of focus on the head. It's so much.
It's perfect. It's meant to be.
Narwhal, is your Mad Libs ready, or do you want to talk about Hotel Story?
Yeah, Hotel Story. Thanks for showing it. It's a mailing list. It's almost done. The book's actually completely done, but it's going to be a long campaign. So, but I might send it to some of you guys to read or something. I don't know, but
I'm really looking forward to this, man.
Yeah.
I really am. Because the guy you're working with, his comics are always really good, and I want to see what this collaboration ends up.
Yeah, I'm going to introduce him more to you guys, bring him more into the fold because he's a cool guy, and we've been buddies for a long time. But he's kind of a loner or whatever. But I'm just bringing him in. But he's like a creative, super creative dude. So.
Awesome,
Great
yeah,
talent.
It's great. Yeah, his work looks great.
Sign up for Hotel
Everything I've read of his, I found very engaging. So,
yeah, Yeah,
It's
yeah.
cool how your styles merge together so well. It's almost like his art looks like you trying to draw a little more anime.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do some more collabs too. We've got some stuff in the works. So yeah, we're some animation and some he might be the guy I bring in to work on the Naked Samurai graphic novel.
Ooh.
Yeah. And for the ad libs, it's a quote. So I need like a quote, but it can't be too long. It's got to fit in like a famous quote. What's a famous Napoleon quote?
What's the best Napoleon quote that we have?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Pictures
my
worth
God.
1,000 words.
There we go.
Yeah. I guess I could try and fit that in if you want.
He's there looking at the code of the Matrix and like, God, these suggestions are terrible. It's like, we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah. I'm reading the chat too. So
If at first you don't succeed, give up and never try again.
Great quote.
That's
Very,
a good
very
quote. That's a good quote.
intelligent
It's a very
saying.
inspiring
the chat's a
quote.
little
Like a
bit better at this than
demotivational
you guys.
poster.
I gotta say.
Yeah.
But they have the advantage because it's like a hive mind, and they definitely come up with some funny stuff.
The
Oh, no,
chat is a
view-
hive mind. Interesting.
VUI says a new whole adventure. There should be a whole new adventure. Oh God.
I just got a message from my girlfriend saying you worked on these slides all week.
Well, that's shameful if you worked on them all week, Phil.
It's a lie. I did.
God damn.
I ate dinner at my parents, and then I'm like, I have to leave, go back to the office to make these slides for this show.
I need to
All
find
right.
some.
Well, it looks like you made it in like 5 minutes, so we'll believe you.
Well,
I literally sit there and agonize for hours, go for walks, and think about it. And I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it wrong. You're doing it right, Phil. I'm the one. I'm the one who is
Yeah,
narrating.
when you worry too much, you just like paralyze yourself.
Yeah, very true.
To be fair, I did know this was going to be the topic last month when Pete hit me up. I'm like, oh, it'll be perfect. I'll have you on, talk about this. So I was thinking about it, but
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
I think
fun.
this is one of the best ones. It was fascinating, and I didn't realize it's because also sometimes it's my expectations going into it. I was like, monster. What's there to talk about monster? This always happens, and it's like, oh, there's 2 hours worth of stuff to talk about.
Always.
are we getting this Mad Libs?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah. I'm almost ready. Let me see.
Oh.
Are you writing? Are you just writing like a story? You're not actually putting in the words.
Putting it into the AI. He's typing all of this into the AI.
No,
Is it AI?
You'll see when I screen share, but there's 23 inputs and there's like 5 more to do or something. So you guys.
All right, what is it? Let's go through it. Let's do a speed round.
Yeah.
Let's pick the longest one.
Oh yeah. So the next one, blank. Just, it's a noun.
I feel like
Noun?
we could do this
Noun.
in the second half.
This is the.
Yeah.
We need a second half video.
You need
I
a
don't
second
have
half
the chat
clip.
thing.
You need to push this in.
Here we go. Here's the second half video.
Okay.
I have an excellent idea. Let's change the subject.
I'm gonna drink.
All right, second half.
This is the more casual half, Pete. Feel free to leave at any time.
No,
or,
don't leave.
hang
Stick
out.
around.
Kick him.
and-
Don't get rid of him.
I got to like
Do
12:05. Then I
Alrighty.
turn into a pumpkin.
Okay.
Perfect.
Well, we want to see that. That would be
You
funny.
turn into a trapped man style monster,
Oh no.
It happens.
and then you get eaten by a bunch of women looking for pumpkin spice lattes.
Yeah.
Just come and lick the rind of the pumpkin.
I'm into this pumpkin.
I need-
spice, guys.
I don't think Pete would mind
Sounds
that.
pretty good.
I need 2 adjectives and then I'm done. So you guys are chat.
So many
Just
fucking
2
adjectives.
Ooh, adjectives. Just pick colors: blue, green.
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for the chat to give me some gold. And then we'll do it.
Sumptuous? No, that's not.
Moist.
There we go.
Ah!
Dripping. Is dripping an adjective?
No.
No, it's a verb.
But if you are dripping with moisture, like you
Well,
aren't the
everything
thing
doesn't matter
dripping.
anymore, right? Words don't matter anymore.
Words don't matter.
Everything's a noun and an adjective and a
English
verb.
language doesn't matter.
Riz. What about Riz? What's Riz mean?
I don't know.
I mean, style, doesn't it? Like you got Riz.
Yeah, it's charisma. No. It's just a shortened word of charisma.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh Lord.
All right, this has been built.
No, that's what it is.
The problem is
Yeah.
it took
Yeah.
so
I
long
believe
and
you,
I
it got
believe you.
built
It's
up more
just-
than it should have. Because it's
The
not
kids
going to
can't
live
be
up to
bothered
any
to say
expectation.
full words anymore.
Right? Those 2 extra syllables are a killer.
Yeah. Nah. That's just Riz, mate.
Don't got time for that.
All right, can you hear me? Phil's
Yes.
frozen.
Yeah.
Oh,
No. He's
Oh, you
just
want me to share
standing
this?
there. He's
Okay.
just-
yeah.
Frozen
he's
with
just
anticipation.
He's pregnant
Yeah.
with anticipation.
So, Demosthenes, the monster, was late for his first day of school. He socked out of his dead bed and rubbed the sleep out of his sultry eyes as fiercely as he could. He pulled socks onto all 52 of his feet. He ran downstairs and shoveled some Stong cereal into his dong. His mom yelled, Demosthenes!
Don't we all do that every morning?
Demosthenes!
I love getting stung in the dong.
Yeah. You will miss the bulbous bus. He grabbed his cookingology textbook, threw some jiggly boobs into his lunchbox, and spanked out the door. His neighbor waved his debauchery at him and said, "If you can't duck it, fuck it." Manny tried to wave
That's
back,
the
but
quote?
he tripped over his swollen soul.
I remember Napoleon saying that.
That's
You
a
know?
lot of mood swings, like really sexual versus really depressing.
Yeah. He stood up just in time to see Napoleon, the bus driver, open the playful doors to the bus. Manny squeezed all 69 of his spines into a seat and breathed a sigh of bookcase.
Jesus.
Finally, he was on his way to another moist day at school.
I'm so confused.
Monsters, man.
Everything is spelled wrong, but it doesn't matter.
Hey, look, it's a Marvel comic script. Look at that.
It looks that's
Yeah.
about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually think
Get
this
in
is
the
more
young adult
entertaining.
section. You'll be good.
Well
Amazing.
done.
That was
Chat GPT, basically.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
ChatGPT, make me a Mad Lib. Ask me what the words are.
They can't replace me, Chat GPT. How dare you?
Do you want to send John Hervey the link, Irene?
Oh yeah, I shall do that. Yes. So Black Tiger just launched like a couple hours ago on Bancrofts, and I have a cover on it. So let's see if John Hervey is available.
Hit him up. We had another. Oh, we had something here. Oh yeah.
Verbal posture.
L.A. Munoz with a member chat. He says, "Great show, CG Stong." Oh yeah.
We stunk.
Tonight
Yeah,
a
you
meme was born. Brilliant.
Need
Phil.
like a
Brilliant.
logo for Live Stong.
Liv Stong. I used to wear a Liv Stong band. Then it broke.
I guess it
Oh.
wasn't Stong enough.
The irony.
Liv Stong is like the replacement brand after that guy got caught lying or whatever.
Yeah. Juicing.
That one guy.
What's his
Let
name?
me go get some water. You guys pontificate, postulate.
So what do you think about those fiberglass Mexican aliens? Pretty cool,
Collaborate.
right?
Oh man.
Holy shit, that was so weird. It's totally.
The crazier part is the X-ray part when they were doing that. You know.
Yeah,
And
like
it's
I don't
just-
actually didn't understand how they got those. They just typed it into Midjourney or something. Like,
It's
give me.
I like how now that
Oh,
they're
man.
actually telling everyone, "Hey, aliens exist," nobody fucking believes them.
It's just
just
if
like
it's
nobody
if it's a
government.
mummified alien, where is its craft? Where are other things that would be there? You know, there's so many mountains of evidence and stories and all these other things that have taken place over the years, not just in America, obviously. Like America's not the only place where aliens are talked about or crash landed or whatever. But like just all over the world. And these Peruvian mummy aliens that are in Mexico, and they're like 1,000 years old. They're like tiny little dudes that look just kind of like someone mutilated a
They look
capuchin
high
monkey.
as fuck. They look high
Yeah.
as fuck. They would chill out.
It just, where's everything else? There would be so much more evidence. If they were mummified, they were revered. If they were revered, there'd be stories. There'd be all kinds of other evidence behind them. And it's just, the X-rays are.
Pete, they had the X-rays. They covered them in concrete powder. They just sprinkled it all over the little
Lordy. Yeah, and what I love about the X-ray part of it too is like, oh yeah, because you can't just create those, right? You can't just create those digitally.
Yeah, we don't live in an age of advanced computers.
They don't do that in movies or anything all the time. Yeah, so it's, oh my lord, what a nice little weird distraction it is from so many things.
I think there was like a major news thing happening the exact same time on the hashtags. It's just right under.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're trying to write up articles of impeachment for Biden. So
there we
go. Oh, well, about time.
Release the aliens.
I don't know. I like how just nobody trusts government now. Everything is like, it must be a distraction. At least, I don't know.
The aliens,
people I respect don't tend to trust government.
Yeah, I'm going to have to just meet aliens at this point for me to, if I get it from the government and the government's telling me that there's aliens involved.
If they say up, I'm going to be like, so down.
Yeah.
If you ever meet an alien,
I mean, that's a pretty good rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Just say, Jesus Christ is Lord, and he'll run away going, woo! Apparently, if you say that in front of an alien, they run out.
Yeah, and I absolutely believe that there's stuff here, stuff that's been here, stuff that's crashed. It's just mountains and mountains and mountains of evidence about it for forever and ever. But it's one of those things where when the government starts breaking up certain things, it's like, okay, well, if you've got it, if you've got crash retrievals, if you've got tech, if you've got bodies, if you've got all this stuff, if you've also been lying about it for decades, it's like, well, what else are you lying about?
Exactly.
Obviously a lot. Well,
actually,
why are you not putting this tech out there? And you're obviously manipulating something right now.
It feels like they're telling us, but they're not actually revealing the real crafts or creatures or whatever is going on.
Yeah, Pete, what do you think of the popular and very credible theory that all of the aliens are actually, and all the crashes and all the technology, are actually from a pre-Diluvian breakaway society that went to live in the hole in the South Pole, and they kept on continuing developing their technologies whilst the whole world was reset, and all of the UFOs flying around, all the crashes and stuff is actually divergent ancient humans that kept going with their tech.
Oh yeah, and that there's a lot of the USOs, the unidentified submersible objects, right? Mm-hmm. That's a very interesting theory. It makes a lot of sense about why there's so much weirdness around Antarctica, and the treaties involved down there. The fact that you're not supposed to fly over there. It's so much shorter to get to certain distances on the planet, and yet you could fly right through. And they don't want you to fly over it. Mm-hmm. And then there's a lot of different weird things that have been happening, like with energy sources down there, and it's always. Antarctica is like, you would think that's the only place ever affected by anything that has to do with the Earth, with climate. They make such a big stink about it, and it's like, well, what do they not want to melt down there? If anything, I say raise the temperature, let it all friggin' melt. I want to see what's down there.
Yeah, all of the black obsidian pyramids that are under the ice.
It's weird, and the Nazis were obsessed with Antarctica too. They obviously found out about something.
It's the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden tucked away in the ice wall. There's an angel walking around with a flaming sword saying, keep away.
Totally.
Because what is it, like 2 or 3 miles of ice, something like that? And then it's landmass. It's not like the North Pole. So something's buried in there. And then all the ice core samples that they've got from the poles that show all the different things that have occurred over time. It disproves the man-made, the climate change is purely man-made.
It's just in John.
So it's
Hey, John.
Hey, everybody, how you guys doing?
Hi, what's up?
Hey.
No.
I've been enjoying the show.
Nice.
I'm definitely enjoying this conversation. What's up, Narwhal? What's up, Phil?
How's it going, John?
My man Pete.
Sorry for the interruption.
Sweeney.
What's up, man?
Hyper Wizard. Pleasure to meet you.
Good to meet you too, man.
Hola.
Yeah.
Hola. Congrats on the launch.
Congratulations on the launch.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The CG community is amazing. That's just just period and point blank.
Yeah.
You know,
Black Tiger.
The
Everybody
support,
go.
Black Tiger, with the awesome, the fire Reenie cover.
Someone post the
That's
link so I can
so
pull it up.
Yeah. Ancient conspiracy? Because it seems like that might fit into especially what is going on with Black Tiger in this issue. And your book is gigantic. It's like over 200 pages, right? What ancient histories or ancient civilizations are you tying into this?
So I tie in Mayan civilization. So it's interesting because there's ziggurats in effect, ziggurats all over the world. In different areas of the world, and from a conventional mindset, you would think that wouldn't be possible. So it just raises a lot of questions.
Well, it's all from the ancient pre-Diluvian civilization of Atlantis.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's all the same. It was a seafaring civilization that traveled the world, and that's where all these fucking pyramids are from. Duh.
Aliens.
Nah.
Aliens.
Just
Atlantis.
divergent humans.
I would believe that more. I think a lot of the alien stuff is extra dimensional, and if it's non-human, then it's just divergent humans.
Well,
I'm getting off track though.
But you know what? There's something there going on. I mean, whether you take the Genesis 6 track or whether you take whatever, I mean, there's something super normal, paranormal.
Super normal. I like
Ultra
that.
normal.
As opposed to supernatural.
Super normal.
Yeah. There's
I thought I was
It's
super normal.
like super normal.
You are.
You're
Phil.
super awesome. You're super awesome.
Aw.
Super normal. Thank
All
you.
right.
You're super normal.
I'm definitely not. There's nothing normal about me. I'm not normal. So.
No, we're all so normal, guys. We fit in.
This, dude, this
These
is
No, but
awesome.
those,
Yeah,
those
that's
are the kind of
great. This is
mysteries.
awesome.
Wow.
Those are the kind
The
of mysteries.
world-renowned
you get
Rod
closer to
Looper.
Yeah. Rod is an old friend of mine, and I'm just glad to see that he's been getting so much traction in CG. He's a wonderful human being, and just a delightful dude to work with. So, I couldn't recommend him more to folks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's gotten just better and better over time. I mean, we've done collectively over 550 pages of Black Tiger comics.
Yeah.
So, collectively, if somebody wanted to get all of that, they could, in this campaign. And for me, as someone that has always loved comics, I always love not just the journey of the story, but I love watching the journey of creators. And you see creators getting better. You see them kind of, whether it's on a particular property, you see them kind of really getting their legs and really, or just developing their skill. And that's one thing you'll see throughout Black Tiger is you'll really see Rod has always been an excellent artist, but you'll really see him grow. And I hope that I'm growing as a writer. That's always the prayer.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I know the
It's
feeling.
so hard to gauge yourself.
I know.
Just use more bigger words.
Is that what it is?
That's exactly what,
Yeah.
what you do.
Just use more of bigger, long words, and then you'll be better of a writer.
All right. I need to-
Better
a
That's
more
the
Betterest writer there is.
a more better writer.
My most writery of writers.
You're the writeriest.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
Yes,
so very
indeed.
much, Liest.
There we go. You're learning how to do it.
Oh, we're so good at this.
Are you familiar
Literal
with the
English
word
too.
song?
Scone.
Song.
Stong.
I heard like 3 different words right now.
Stong. Stong.
Stong. No.
That-
Yeah.
I saw it in your chat, but I missed it.
Yeah. Phil invented it.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, Phil, what is stong? Is it like an amalgamation of words? Or is it like something you
It's
told me?
Phil's English 2 version of the word strong.
Oh! So this is like Phil's Ebonics.
Yeah, Phil,
I appreciate that.
Chicago
Exactly.
talk for strong.
Phil Bonics. It's
He's-
Phil Bonics.
Yeah. I like Phil Bonics. I like that. I had a grandma. She would say "scrong" like with a K. Scrong.
What?
That's really
Scroll.
good. That's such a
That
good
makes
word.
no sense.
Scroll.
It's like Kansas people with
Yeah,
wash the car.
He's scrong.
The washing machine. Gotta wash the dishes.
Really? Did they say that?
Yeah.
I'm never going to Kansas.
Gotta wash
I go
it.
Crazy.
Well, in your neck of the woods, aren't they saying they wash the car?
Yeah. Park the car.
Park the car.
Park the car. Wash the car. You know.
Oh, I just saw a video from like, it's so weird. It's like an old video from 1985 of people just like on the street speaking with like the thickest Bostonian accents. And it's like, oh, the good old days when people actually talk to each other. It was weird.
That's
You want to
awesome.
talk to people?
A lost
street?
Americana. But yeah, the Bostonian accent. Just how's school going? Your mama doing good?
Whoa,
Go to
that's
the bar.
that was pretty bad, Rini.
I
Was
know
that
it. I
bad?
know it is.
Your mama
Shut
doing
up.
it good, huh? Your mama
Okay,
doing it good.
I-
From a Boston. Maybe the North End, I guess.
Yeah.
I never claimed
Hey,
to
you
be good at
me,
this.
from a Boston.
I never claimed to be good at this. The only accent I can do well is
Hey, Luigi, go
very,
park the car.
very offensive Asian accent. So I can do that.
Do it.
too.
Do it. You're allowed. You're half allowed. You get a half pass.
You're the only one on this panel. Well, actually, I guess Pete can do it too. I can't do that.
Oh, we can all do it.
Yeah, but then, but should we?
Promise I won't be
Should I?
But can we really?
Yeah, but can we really?
My relatives are always doing it. I'm like, you racist bastards. But they were from China, so I guess it's okay.
Wait, is that just like how they talk though?
Yeah, that's the joke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm a
No,
little
so-
slow. I'm sorry.
Come on, Rini,
My,
you're not gonna get out of it. Do it.
You gotta do it, Rainy.
You-
Oh, I wasn't expecting it now. Okay, I need to think of something to say first. Okay.
I'm not gonna say
I
anything.
don't know.
I need to get some
Yeah.
tweezers. I'll be right back.
I could think of lots of suggestions. But I'm
Tweezers.
not gonna.
Yeah, what's up with the tweezers?
All right, well, it's been fun, everybody, but I gotta go. I gotta take off.
Gotta take off, Pete.
Yeah, I
Great
gotta take
hanging out,
off.
Pete.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Always
We love
fun.
Everybody go back King Cryptid, check out alternative comics.
Yeah, back it.
Thanks for coming, Pete.
Thank you for having me, everybody. Take
Of course,
it
it was
easy.
Great to meet you.
And
Take
we'll
it easy.
we'll do this again. We'll do this
Yes,
again
sure.
one day. Everybody in the
Alright.
chat, have a wonderful evening and a even better tomorrow. Take it easy.
See you
Take
later.
care, Pete. Good to see you,
See
buddy.
ya.
Goodbye.
Has
Goodbye.
anyone ever said like "Have a good day" and you've ever said "Don't tell me what to do"?
No, because I'm not an asshole.
I do it all the time. It's great.
I figured.
Have a safe drive. Don't tell me what to do. I'll drive dangerously if I want to.
Oh, okay, well, fine. Go crash your car then.
I nearly did.
Hmm. I'm
Like,
that
Just
happens all the
just
time.
out of spite, because you didn't want to
No,
say
there have been car journeys with my mom where she's been so annoying, and I just say I really want to crash this car right now.
Yeah.
And she just laughs at me. But yeah,
My
I
old-
saw some.
My old
Go on.
soccer coach always said, "Drive fast, take chances." Every time you leave, like, oh, okay.
Yeah, don't tell me what to do. I'm gonna drive so safely you won't even feel it.
Have you seen-
the old reverse psychology trick.
Yeah. Have you seen the Woody Allen movie where it's like Woody Allen? He's in the car with Christopher Walken, and Christopher Walken's like, "Do you ever get the urge to just swing the car into oncoming traffic?" And it pans over to
Oh.
Woody Allen. He's like, "No."
If you were driving in the car with my mom, you would feel that urge. Trust me.
Yeah.
Like, what, with her in the passenger seat talking to you while you're driving, or her actually driving? Like, you want to grab the wheel while she's driving, or you're
No,
driving?
while I'm driving. No,
Okay.
she'd never drive on the motorway. I'm the one who's relegated to driving.
The motorway. Is that highway?
Yeah. Oh, the highway. Ooh. Yeah.
What about the
Yes,
byway?
We call it the motorway.
The motorway.
Oh, the motorway.
Go
It
on the
is.
I'm not fucking going on the motorway. I haven't had my motorway lessons yet.
Motorway.
Motorcycle on the motorway.
This is Britain.
You can't ride a. Oh, you can. Man, I would
We
feel
don't
so
pronounce
at
their
risk.
R's.
Bottle of water.
We don't pronounce our R's or our T's.
By the way, I showed a wider group of people the new Carnal layouts to get feedback, and like Jay from Desolate Soul Studios, he said that it reminded him of like Gru, Sergio Aragones Gru, and so I got Gru meets Tarzan, and like
Hold on,
yeah, so I got this, and look, the funny thing is he totally has Carnal's same wrist things. And if you just like, if you cover the nose and pretend he has no nose, then I guess it's like
Carnal.
the European version, and he has the hair a little bit, and he has this cool little dog dude who's like basically, I guess, fantasy Gromit, who just takes the piss out of him. And I'm like, so Carnal needs a dog now, right?
Yes.
Just make it.
Now I'm like, what if his? Yeah, no, I'm like, what if his dog his dick detaches and becomes a dog or something?
Oh
but this is actually really funny. But it's like it's obviously more in this comic strip style humor direction, but it's still like an actual comic. It's very enjoyable to read. But yeah, it is different, but it's very funny.
Cool. I don't think I have read any group comics.
I hadn't either until he suggested it. Oh shit! Eric Huffle says he needs a hedgehog. Okay, there is actually going to be a Carnal story where there's like a big monster that's causing trouble, and everyone's like, "Can you get rid of it?" But he really likes the monster and basically tries to take it on as a pet. Like he's like, "Oh, who's that good little guy?" And because he's so strong and can't really be hurt, like. It's like, imagine Superman having like a pet liger or something, or like a pet, like a pet bear.
Wait, that's awesome.
Like Superman having a pet bear and hanging out with it, because he's like, the bear can't kill him. He's like probably the only person who could hang out with a bear and have him as a pet and like learn to live with the bear.
So does the animal like try to maul him, but he thinks the animal's like playing with him? Oh, you're such a cutie. You're such a cute.
Well, yeah, because it wouldn't. I don't think it would hurt him that much. So like a bear mauling him would be like when you have a pet dog and it's like look at him, he's trying to maul my arm. Like his mouth is like this on your arm and it's not doing anything, and you just let it go for your arm for a bit. And you're like, go on, I'll let you have a go. Go on, try and maul me. You little terror. But yeah.
Cool. We had that happen in our Pathfinder campaign. It's actually Sugar Chris's character. I don't know if he's in chat, but it did not go the same way because his character. Well, it wasn't the same situation because he had a really weak, wimpy character that really liked bugs. So we came across like a swarm of bugs, and he's like, "These are my pets," and everybody else was grossed out.
Was he the mushroom guy?
Malaria.
No, he made another. He likes making like these small, quirky, weird characters. So he made another one in another campaign that was like a forest mite, which is like a goblin but even uglier and weaker, and he was completely pathetic but really like collecting bugs. So, but it was hilarious. He's a hilarious character. I love it.
Okay.
Did the party catch malaria or something? Like, did it catch any STIs from the bugs?
No, it was just weird. Like, where are you keeping the bugs? But I don't know.
He's like, I'm gonna battle other bugs with them, like Pokemons.
Yeah, that would actually be really cool. I want to have like a beast. Actually, I do have like a Beastmaster Ranger, but I'm not very high level yet. So if you're a Beastmaster Ranger, you can have because Rangers can be focused terrain, favorite terrain or favorite enemy, or animal companion or companion focus. And a Beastmaster is a Ranger type that obviously can have like sacrifice everything else to have a shit ton of pets, and you essentially become Aurel from A Song of Ice and Fire. In the end,
I really want to play one of these.
Sorry, I'm nerding the fuck out.
Have you ever seen
Nobody knows what I'm saying.
Have you ever seen Beastmaster, Irene?
No.
Watch it.
I haven't watched that in a long time. Does that hold up pretty well, Phil? I haven't watched it in a while.
I mean, I haven't seen it in a while either. I remember they did a TV show as well in the 90s.
Yeah, they did.
My dad loves the movie. I'm sure it holds up.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. I love that movie. I just haven't seen it in a long time.
John, do you have any interesting monsters in Black Tiger?
So we do have they're goblins. So there's a goblin warlock called Orokuishi, so you have basically some of the artwork there that's black and white. It shows some of the things that are happening in feudal Japan. So without any spoilers about kind of where those creatures come from, you do have basically a group of goblin samurai and a goblin warlord. Because why not?
Because why
awesome.
not?
Because it's kind of awesome.
Do you tie in any other mythological Japanese creatures? Because Japan has some weird fucking yokai. Like their idea is just like, it's like, this is just a yokai. It's like a creature that it grows from a comb or some shit.
I have another story with Oni, and that is, I mean, it kind of, I mean, Japanese lore is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I mean, you have mountains of material just right there. I was just like, man, I felt like I was doing something amazing. I was like, all I'm doing is poaching their stuff.
Yeah, it's all so weird because they'll have creatures that, I mean, it's like European mythological creatures or just mythological creatures from any other part of the world, even Chinese monsters and stuff. It's like, okay, you kind of have a few. You have like zombie types. You have like the like river dragons, river monsters, all that kind of shit, or undead, which is very like Scandinavian thing. Yeah. But then like Japan is just weird. Japan has always been weird, guys. Like it's not a modern thing that they're just this island of like weird broken people. They'll have yokai that are like it grew out of a toothbrush, or here's a monster whose entire lore is that it's like a haunted beer bottle, and it's a whole creature with like functions and lore, and it has a habitat and shit. It's great.
No, it's amazing, and you're just like, I mean, it's like, they'll have like I forgot the Japanese term for it, but just like these little like amulets, and they would be tied to all kinds of craziness, and you're just like, okay, I don't want to touch anything here. Because you don't know what is what.
Yeah, and a lot of it has symbolic cultural meaning too.
Yeah.
So it kind of, I love it, but I don't know enough about it to really do anything with it. I'm like, I don't want to fuck it up. Because even Spirited Away, I know there's so much symbology if you look at like stuff like Spirited Away and Paprika, where there's a lot of symbology from like Shintoism and Japanese culture. I don't get it. I didn't grow up there, so but it's awesome. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's like visually riveting.
My favorite yokai is like a lazy guy that sits on a cloud, and his name is You Do It, and he points and he says, "You do it." That's a real one, right?
You made that up.
All the yokai from Yokai Watch are real, right?
What?
You never played Yokai Watch? It was awesome.
I'm so confused.
Do you not know what Yokai Watch is?
No, what is that?
Okay, Yokai Watch is like a Japanese thing. It's like a kid's thing. But all of the yokai are like monsters in the world, and you have this thing called a Yokai Watch, and it's kind of like a Pokemon-ish rip. But you trap the yokai. You make friends with the yokai by battling them, and they give you like their medallion, which is like their challenge coin, and then you like put their coin into your watch, and it like summons them, and you battle with them. And there's loads of yokai. They're all great. There's a character called Jibanyan who's just like a cat who got run over, and he became a yokai. But there's loads of fruit versions of Jibanyan. So you can have pineapple yan and apalan yan. It's very Japanese, but yeah, Yokai Watch was great. But
you figure fundamentally, I mean, Pokemon are just yokai.
Yeah.
And
bugs.
Yeah, it's a whole different level.
That means all the hollow buddies are secretly yokai.
Rini disappeared.
Yeah, Rini needs to be in and ask John more questions about his book. Wait, where'd she go? She is listening to all this right now because she had her headphones on. Okay, I guess I could show I could show a redrawn page, like a redrawn spread that I've been doing of Connell. Look, here we go. here's the old one and the new one. And the old one, he's like, because this, no. This is the old one. Because it was earlier in this scene used to be like way earlier in the story. So like Connell was supposed to act like aloof because it was supposed to be weird that this guy was like being chased by this character and he was being aloof. And look, this is even at this point, this is even the Crab King. So he's like wearing a crown and stuff. But then later now, because it's like later in the story, he's changed to be freaking out. And then the crab, it's turned into like more than one crab. So there's like 3 of them coming out of that hole. And now they're, instead of being like one king of the crabs, they're called mine crabs. And they wear little mining hats and have little pickaxes. But yeah, that's
crabs.
Yeah,
that's spelled like the German way, like mine.
mine crabs.
Mine crabs.
Yeah, that's Connell's like self-help book, Mine Crab. But yeah, so like that's like how much this is transformed.
Yeah, you
even
change
just in
this
one
every
spread.
day. Like the
no, I
draft
don't.
The draft I read 2 days ago didn't have these multiple crabs. It was one crab.
Okay, listen, Phil. I did the important bits that needed fixing. Like I don't know if I could share this. Like I put in this scene with the slug guy, like where Connell's trying to sell like a severed head. And look, I actually figured out a way to put the fuccubus in here. But then I was like,
I liked it.
Then see what I do is when I make the changes, I'll like lie on my bed and I'll flick through the whole story and I'll be like, this part has like a different tone now. I really need to connect this to this. And I'm like, well, how do I connect this to the first scene? And so I just sit there doing that and then I update it. But yeah, like pretty much, like, so I've got like to redraw. Like this is the old Connell introduction pages, where it's like saying, like this. This is what that page used to be, where it's like describing the job point system. And now I'm like redid the narration and stuff, but it's gonna be great. It's so cool. I know everyone can get excited about their own stuff. Woo, but man, I'm so excited.
How long is that gonna be?
50 pages on the dot.
Okay.
It's not bad.
I got it to 50. So yeah, it's gonna be 50 full color pages, and I might. I'm considering just doing a preview book for Vegas. Like it might be a preview book of like both Connell and Drake in the
kind
same
of Ashcan style.
Yeah. Like I really wish I could do a preview book that is basically all of these layouts in the rough pencil-y layouts. Like I would love to just because the whole story is here. Like the whole story is done. Someone could read this now. But yeah, like if I printed
I did read it.
Yeah, Phil had one compliment, and then I was like, "Oh no, Phil's avoiding saying all the bad things." I was like, "What is he not telling me?"
That's kind of, there's an art to that. Yeah, if you get feedback from your friends, because you can find little things even though they won't say it. You're like, "Yep,
yeah,
it confirms my paranoia."
Yeah, it's confusing getting feedback from friends.
You can be mean as you want with your feedback. It wouldn't actually faze me.
Well, wait till you meet my team.
I wouldn't mind. You can try me. How about that? Try me. Be as mean as you want, Irene. With your
so what is the best way to give a friend feedback?
Well, that's like, because in my case, I'm always nice no matter what. And then so they have to then decode if there's anything that might, like if it's like pacing or something, I might just completely avoid it. They'll be like, you never talked about the pacing. I can't help but notice that you didn't comment on the pacing. I'm like, I just didn't. I think, and they're like, you think the pacing sucks, don't you? I'm like, no, I think it's fine.
You're like, I didn't say that.
Yeah,
I think it depends a lot on the person.
The friend.
Yeah, it depends on the person, because I know friends that really they think, okay, being a good friend means you're always honest, and so And if you're a friend, I always want to help. But some people, it's like, okay, unless it's a huge problem, I'm not going to nitpick it because I know that they'll overthink it and beat themselves up about it. I don't want that either. But so it depends on the person. But I do think that, well, I'll always give feedback, especially to artist friends, because I want them to improve. But it's the situation. It's like, well, maybe I'll like say it privately instead of in front of other people while we're at a dinner or like on a, during like a work chat with other people, stuff like that.
I'm begging people to be mean or like unvarnished about the feedback, and they always just say, "It's great, I love it." I'm like, no, you don't. There's got to be something that you don't.
Well, most people are like that because you don't. It's hard giving feedback, and it's hard to gauge how someone will react if you don't know them.
I just turn into Dennis. It's like I'm like, be mean, and then as soon as you say one mean thing, I'm like, I am a golden god. How do you not understand?
I'm drinking this beer.
You could always give them like a poop sandwich. Give them a poop sandwich. Give them say something nice, and then put the poop in there.
There we go.
Say something
Ghost
else
House says your braid looks stupid. Thank you for the feedback. I always put it into this show to go with the hat. There we go. Oh, I love it.
Oh man,
this is why I hold back, guys.
About to get loose now.
Yeah, everyone's just gonna start being really mean now. I just mean about the feedback on the art, guys. I don't mean about me as a person.
In his head, he's like, "You've just made an enemy for life."
You remember every single thing we said.
I'm one of those very famously enemy for life CG types where I'll pretend that everything's fine, but I've just noted that down in my infringement book, ready to bring out in like 3 years' time on a random stream where you're not even in the audience. Or
you have a vengeance list.
I've met those before.
People.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around. The vengeance list, the shit list. Yeah, the infraction diary.
Remember that in Billy Madison, Adam Sandler calls what's his name? The actor. He's in Reservoir Dogs and stuff. He plays the homeless guy. But he's like
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi. He's like, I just like you to know, man, that I was kind of mean to you in high school. And I'm really sorry about that. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. And he goes, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. And they hang up, and he opens his book of people to kill, and he crosses off.
Yeah, nice. Yes.
Oh, that's great. Yep. Hey, look back on who you were mean to once, because you never know. One of them might be currently a serial killer.
It feels like the Always Sunny version of that would be like someone comes in and apologize. No, they apologize for being mean, but then the other person is like, no, you don't get to just do that. You don't just get to apologize and everything's fine and you're forgiven. No, like they don't accept it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's a little psycho.
Chad's in the chat. What's up? Chad says it's easier to give feedback to people who have good skills. That's true. If I can tell they're really good, I'm like, oh, well, I'm not worried. You're like, clearly you would be secure about yourself, so I can just tell you what I think is wrong. And especially if you can talk more technically, it's like, okay, I don't have to explain like what stuff like a tangent is. It's much easier.
What tangent?
Tangents
is riddled with tangents.
Oh, I would
fucking tangent.
I would lose my mind. Wasn't someone who did a book that was like so many tangents? It was a while ago. It was some other indie book.
Ghost House says he's kidding. He likes the parade. Good. I'm keeping it anyway. The Book of Tangents?
No, it's just something from forever ago. Never mind. Don't mind me. It was something that came out when I was in college.
Did you make any updates to that cover? Because you should totally show off that cover and build hype for the launch.
I'm actually editing it right now, so sure, I'll show. Oh, hey, you guys want to see the black and white cover?
See it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Oh, that was. Give me a second.
No one say what it is.
My Photoshop is.
No one say what it is because it's a spoiler.
Yes. Everybody in the block who's read 2.5, don't say what it is. Or like, keep scrolling through Black Tiger. I need to fix something first.
So one thing you were asking about monsters. I think one very prominent monster or creature, I should say, in this are dragons.
Dragons.
You know, so from Quetzalcoatl to you know, dragons, like in Japanese lore, you see both of those, especially in this story, and you get to kind of see, you know, of course, I don't want to give away spoilers about the story, but you start to get a better idea about kind of the different powers, the dragon, the tiger, and their mythos in this universe that I've built. So there's you know, somebody was asking on Bancroft's stream, it's like, why is the dragon always hidden? It's just like that, okay? It's just like that. It's just what it is.
Yeah, the tiger's always crouching,
And the dragon is always hidden.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
It's been like that since Bruce Lee.
That's a Steve Martin joke at the Academy Awards way back in the day when he hosted them. He's like, I kept wondering why there were no dragons or tigers in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but then I realized they're all crouching and hidden.
Oh, that's so bad.
Do you guys like the trope with dragons where it's like they can turn into a person, but then they can also turn back into a dragon? Like they have a person version, and they say like drag on, and they turn into a dragon, and then they say drag off, and then they turn back into a human.
What?
I don't know about that. The lady did away with that, I think.
Dragons are shapeshifters in D&D and Pathfinder.
Mighty
Drag on.
You're a dragon though. Why would you want to shapeshift into a person?
To hide.
To blend in.
To be hidden. To be the hidden dragon.
That would
to
really
have
be the hidden dragon.
to have sex with human women. That's when you turn into the dragon.
That's every creature's objective.
Yes.
To have sex with human. One monster I wanted to bring up.
You know, Martians, everybody. That's what everybody wants.
There's a dolphin human monster, like it's one of my, because I was looking for things to make like human versions out of, but there's like a myth of they're like the white river dolphins, and there's like in the culture where they're like they say that they walk on land and they'll like fuck your husband and stuff. Like there's so whenever someone cheats on someone in this like part of the world, they just blame it on the white river dolphins.
Oh yeah, it was a supernatural force in nature, honey. I wasn't in control.
I was seduced by a dolphin.
My dick just ended up in her. I don't know how the fuck that happened.
Those damn dolphins.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Holy shit.
They're so seductive.
You got the dolphin song.
Prehensile vaginas.
Oh! I really didn't need any of that image just now.
Yeah.
It's like, what's a prehensile vagina? Is it like that whole nightmare that some people have, like vaginas with teeth, or is it like like tentacles grow out of the walls of it, and like it's like carnal, but it's just the vagina starts growing tentacle monsters.
I'd be okay with the
entire
tentacles.
concept behind
I think.
fetish, by the way, in case you guys weren't clear about that.
Wait, what's the entire concept? Tentacle vaginas?
Is
this Ragnar's hidden ability?
Yes, it is. Yeah. It's all vaginas and fiendish have tentacles coming out of them. Well, by the way, yes, here, this is the cover for 2.5, even though the bottom is covered right now by all of our icons. Wait, let me zoom out. There it is! Yay!
Nice.
Should I change
I thought I was done with the colors, but I'm tweaking it some more. I added that mist, and I need to...
I think that mist should be more subtle.
Yeah, it does. I just put it in. There's a bunch of other things I need to do, too. Because I got all the rendering in, but I need to focus it. I need to push Ragna and the bandit back a little bit. It's just, I think I'm gonna make the smoke dark. I'm just tweaking it right now.
I love how extra you've made it in coloring it. Like the Michael's art is great, but like I did not see it looking like this extra with the colors. Like I really liked the distance lighting on those mountains. Like how they go orange, like there's fire in the background or like sunset going on. So they're illuminated.
Yeah, I think it turned out decent.
That turned out really nicely, Ray.
Thank you. Yay. But yeah, this will be launching in a week. Holy shit.
Let's go.
You're like,
Damn.
yeah, it's like mid-September. It's the fucking 15th, guys. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
This year
September to remember, just like last year's September that was forgotten.
Yes. Yeah, it's been weird because Fun My Comic doesn't have like a pre-launch page, so I'm kind of like I'm used to having that sign up, but whatever.
You genuine on your website, you probably could make, if you have a project upcoming, you could make a sign up page that has the same sign up widget, and it's just like a new page, and you have artwork for that project.
Oh yeah, I should do that, shouldn't I? Okay, that's a good idea.
Are you using Indiegogo again? What are you using?
She's gonna F my C.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, I want to try it out. It's a good opportunity, I think, because this is it's not in the main series of the books. It's still part of Fiendish. I still want people to get it, obviously. But I'm like, well, I want, like with Chapter 3, I want to make sure as many people as possible who back the Indiegogo back Chapter 3. So I think I'm going to launch out on Indiegogo. 2.5, I'm like, I'm trying a new platform and see how it goes. And because, I feel like I can experiment a little more with this campaign.
And then offer up the previous books as well.
Oh, of course, every time.
Grab some new folks, yeah.
Yeah, you'll always be able to get all the previous books of Fiendish in the campaigns.
Yeah.
So you can get caught up.
Is this going to be the first time that you have the forever cover for Fiendish 2 on a campaign?
Yeah.
Are you still thinking of including it in the box, the all-in box in Fiendish 3?
No, I think for when it comes to Fiendish 3 and going forward, because I think like the all-in box with Chapter 2, I put Chapter 1 in there just because, well, it's only 2 books, right? But as I get to like 3, I would have 4 books. So it's like, if you get the all-in box, you're getting like 4 books. And what if you're a returning customer? Do you want 4 copies of books you already have? So it'll just be, all my subscription tiers will be all the new stuff. And then you can add on past books if you want to when you check out. Yeah, that's fair.
Cool. Yeah, no, I was really glad to get that cover in the all-in Fiendish 2. But yeah, it would make sense that just the next campaign would always have it in. But I'm really looking forward to 2.5. Can't wait.
Okay. I hope you guys all like it. I'm very excited.
Did you say you were going to show the black and white cover?
Oh, that's right. I was going to do that. That's right.
I was going to try and do what you guys do and work during this half too. I never do
that.
that.
Goldfish. Hold on. I'm trying to knock back. So Ragna, I was like, oh, it's totally done last night, and then I got some sleep. I got up this morning. I'm like, okay, I need to focus this more. The problem is Ragna, because her skin tone is so different. I need to knock her back and unify her with the rest of the image more. I'll figure it out. Oh yeah, so here's the black and white cover, guys. Yay!
Oh wow!
I'm pretty happy with it.
Hey, the finished version looks great.
It's not finished. This is still the sketch.
Really?
What?
That looks pretty finished.
Not finished. Look, it's so rough.
now you can tell. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I need to make the lines perfect. This is why shit takes me so long. So yeah, here's a 2.5 cover. I actually like this so much. I wanted to make it not 24 hours, but I already said that black and white covers will be 24 hours. So better get out on this early when at launch, because this will only be available for 24 hours. So there'll be 2 covers. It'll be this and this on the campaign. That's it. Real simple.
Wow. That's dope.
Yeah.
Cooking with gas. Cooking with gas.
You gonna have anything special in the campaign? Like any special items?
I will. I think I'll have a big giant enamel pin of this right here, but color, of course. So that's what. This is the main thing I need to get done. I need to ink this and color it, and so yeah, I'm not sure if I want to make it like a medallion or an actual pin because I want it to be like huge because there's so much detail. But I think it'll be pretty cool. Like this is kind of like.
I mean,
when you read the story, you'll understand.
You would really have to simplify that to get it on a pin.
I will. It'll also be like quite a large pin. It'll be like big, like.
Neat. Are you doing any standees and trading cards and stuff?
I'll still do trading cards as stretch goals. I already talked to my trading card artist. We'll probably just have like 3, but no standees this time. Like again, it's like this is like a fiendish mini campaign, and the price point for the book will be lower, guys, because this is 25 pages of story content. We'll have some extra content as well, but yeah, it'll if you like, it'll be a good jumping on point for people that haven't got the previous books, I think. But also, it's like a light campaign. It's a light campaign. Except when you read the story, it's not that light.
Right.
I think you will enjoy it. Jake can hopefully confirm.
Yeah, no, the story is great. I only read it when it was in thumbnail-y form too, so I didn't even have final art, and I put some music on that was like, I guess, Viking-y stuff with environment sounds and like water and wind and stuff, and so like reading it whilst listening to that was actually a really nice experience, like while curled up in a seat in my living room. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah, the cool thing is it's like a self-contained story too, so the serialized stuff where it goes on for several books is awesome, but being able to get little one-shot stories in the 0.5s is very cool as well.
The 0.5s are slightly more they're mostly self-contained. You're right. Yeah.
Ghost House says a shirt of the rough pencils would rule. Yeah, are you gonna do a black and? Have you done black and white shirts yet of the black and white, like all over print shirts of the black and white covers yet?
Yeah, I wear them. I have those shirts.
There you go. And you're gonna do one. I guess you would end up doing ones of all of the covers, right?
Yeah, these I have the designs for these white on black covers, which every single Fiendish book will have one of these, and I have them all planned out. I'm like, okay, here's like this is what I'm gonna do for all of the books, and they're a very good design element. So they're gonna be shirts. I'm gonna have merch of it, and this one actually works really well as a pin. Like with the Ragna one, I made it a sticker, for the chapter 2 cover.
I don't have it with me. That sticker is on my trading card book full of all those sketch cards.
Mine is over here. I have the giant one. Here you go.
Nice.
There it is.
And this is also on the website. Check it out. Boobies.
Bobby says, is the 0.5 a reference to Jackass and how they have them between movies? Yes, it's definitely a reference to Jackass. That was the core inspiration of all of the 2.5 stories, was Jackass stunts.
It's not because I don't make references to things, because I'm culturally illiterate and you know it. The only references I do are to like the 5 manga series I really like.
Or your latest D&D campaign.
Exactly, yeah. It's like, so this one time in Pathfinder?
I made a slight Fiendish 2 reference, but it's not actually a reference, because like what are the names of the cleavers that thing? There's like a specific cleaver.
The Peroskin cleavers?
Yeah, so Connell has twin blade reavers instead of Peroskin cleavers.
All right.
It's such a reference. Oh my god!
It's such a reference. Wow. I'm flattered, Jake. I'll take it. I'll take what I can get.
Now I just need to draw a Cecil in the background of one of the cities.
It should be a meme. Everybody just cameo Cecil in their books.
I suppose I could have a Cecil block that's like a red block called a rock.
And so, or first he just, or he's a blork, but he just has like a discoloration. It's like blork vitiligo, but it's just like red on the top.
He's
of
a
his
block
head.
with he's a block, but he has block HIV.
Yes. Oh god.
Turns
You
them
probably
red.
love that.
Oh my god! The block should get a sickness where it turns them rabid and they become red, and they call them rocks.
There
Oh
you
my
I was just
god!
gonna say that sounds very in universe for your story, Jake.
Yeah.
AIDS
Actually-
basically, but for
AIDS is a very carnal concept. But no, the blocks are vehemently homophobic, so they might actually have like a fable of if you get with a guy, you turn into a rock or something. But it's like not a real thing. It's just something they use to make each other scared.
Hmm.
That could be interesting.
Hmm.
See, with fantasy, guys, you can just make up whatever you want all the time, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because I have friends that are more into historical stuff, and they're like, why? And so you go through all this pain to make up fantasy stuff and all this role playing. I'm like, you don't understand. This is freeing because I don't have to be exact on my research and have to do everything right and make it like this is exactly how this fucking bowl looked in 15th century Mongolia. And if I get it wrong, someone on the internet is gonna be like, "You're a shit writer." So you didn't do your
I would
research.
rather just create everything. It's so fun making stuff up. I mean, you guys know I just make up random shit all the time, and like maybe 5% of it's okay. Dangosella says, "When do you think you'll launch, Jake? Next year, but as close to this year as possible next year. How about that? That's not an actual defined date, but that's
That is not.
Hey,
That's the most
Alex,
non-answer.
Alex VRB did the meme.
Yes, let's
Oh,
look!
yes! Pull it up.
It's magnificent.
Wait,
Don't pull it up.
wait,
Pull it up.
show me.
Have you not shared it? No.
Okay, I have it here, but I don't think I can zoom in on it, which is.
I will if you want. I can
Yeah.
try and zoom around. I'll share it if you want.
I'm too lazy.
Hail Alex VRB.
I just thought you were doing it, so I didn't do it. Okay, I'm sharing it. So you need to take us off this mode, I guess, so we can see the full majesty
Yes.
of the meme.
Yeah.
The werehog! Hedgehog noises!
Lord Stong.
Lord Stong has killed the creator of PowerPoint's Lord PowerPoint.
No.
And he said, "Get right in the cryptid spleen."
Who is the real monster? I also one that's I kind of like him. He's cute.
Yeah.
Oh, the red tape's on gray. You even did that red tape.
Oh my god! Yes!
Oh,
Oh,
Alex,
he's
you
plus-
are a fucking genius.
Oh,
at
my
this.
baby.
+5 chunk.
Yes.
I can take him. Hedgehog noises, which
Oh
I
my
guess is like
God.
pitter-pattering feet or like scritching whilst
This
eating a
is-
cricket.
This is great.
So meta.
Pizza Medi. No, my baby.
Yeah, so Phil turned Pizza Medi's child into Lord Strong.
Stong.
Lord Strong. And then regretted his decision.
It's amazing.
Who's the guy in the middle?
That's
That's
the creator of
PowerPoint creator
That's-
who got killed.
Yeah, that's King PowerPoint.
And Lord Stong killed him.
What's it say next to your feet there, Jake?
Gack! Right in the cryptid spleen. He has a cryptid spleen. And he got killed. He
Wait,
got
yeah,
1,000.
King
It's King
Cryptid?
Cryptid.
It's King Cryptid with the PowerPoint guy.
PowerPoint.
Dead.
That's what it is.
And then
fucking
Pizza Medi's
amazing.
like, no.
You got
No.
everything in there. Holy shit, dude.
Okay, he isn't. Yeah, you didn't turn his baby into the Lord Stong. You turned King Cryptid into the creator of PowerPoint?
+5 chunk.
He's sad because Lord Stong is killing King Cryptid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I
King
love
Cryptid
it.
is his baby.
Yeah, Stone.
And I created Stong.
Yes, you did. Sorry, I'm a
Monster.
retard.
And then you're like, what have I done?
Now you need to get like you were saying that your significant other wanted a pet dog. You now need to get a really fat pet cat and name it Lord Stong.
Wow.
And then you feed it so much it goes blind, but it's funny.
So funny. Blind
It's really
animals.
Yeah,
Really
you
funny.
you just have to get a cat and you just like feed it a diet of corn only.
You know what that kind of reminds me of is my buddy's wife. She was cross stitching for this thing to hang up on their house. This big like kind of hanging cool piece of art, and it said, "Not all who wander are lost." And she spent 6 months cross stitching on it, and then she finished it, but she realized she forgot to put the word in, so it says, "Not all who wander lost."
Oh no!
That's so good. Anyone who cross stitches, that is an easy mistake to make as well. Like,
Wait, what is cross stitching? Can you
don't
not
know
read
what
what you're
stitching
doing?
is? Cross stitching was an enthusiasm when I was a child, which is why I've ended up like I have. I'll pull up some cross stitch. I wonder if I have any of my
I know
own.
you got some around there that you've been working
Yeah,
on.
I'm wondering if I got any of my own cross stitch when I was a kid. I used to do cross stitch. I used to do cross stitch, and I'd also make plush toys out of fabric. Like I would plan the
Oh,
net.
you mean it's the little like thing you stretch the cloth and you embroider on it?
Nope. Well, no, it's not embroidery. I mean, maybe
It's
a
kind of
form
like
embroidery.
that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Oh yeah, I see. Wait, well, I don't understand. Like, don't you just step back and read what the fuck you're cross stitching?
I know, but
I guess
when you're in the moment,
GTO is
because you're zoomed in all the time. You're always looking so close. You never.
your eyes are always stuck on zoom mode when
Yeah.
you're cross stitching.
Is this a manga? GTO?
Yeah, great teacher Onizuka, I think.
Yeah. Great teacher
Gran Turismo
Onizuka.
Online.
The anime's on YouTube free. I'm pretty sure it's.
Don't
good
watch the
anime,
anime. The manga's way better. The
Okay.
anime looks like shit. It's funny. It's basically the premise is this gangster, the guy in his 20s is desperate for a job, so he gets a job at this like kind of preppy high school. But the high school is full of rich kids, but they're all completely and absolutely fucked up beyond belief, and it's all kinds of like social problems. But it's like all these teachers can't deal with the kids, but this gangster guy has the street smarts to help these kids fix their problems, and it's funny as shit. It's a comedy. It's great.
Oh, it's like a inner city basketball coach type movie.
Yeah.
It's something like that, except he's just like a regular ass teacher, and it's
Yeah, like
the humor
I think
is like
he like the first. I've just seen the anime, but the first thing he does is beat the shit out of the main kid. in front of
Yeah.
everyone else.
Yeah, it's like he beats the kids, somehow doesn't get fired,
Yeah.
does all kinds of stupid shit, gets the kids to fight each other because he's like, just fix your problem, just fight each other. And there's also all kinds of fucked up like sexual stuff going on between the kids, but he's like the only teacher that can figure this shit out because he was like a gangster.
Do you think so much?
So he's like Phil. He's like a funny white shadow, except for rich kids.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's white? What's White Shadow? Is that?
Oh man, I dated myself. It was a show back in the day. It was about this guy who was an inner city coach.
Okay. Yeah. It's definitely like that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. There was one.
Get that cover,
Michelle
people. Get that
Pfeiffer
cover
or
right
something.
there.
Yeah, look at that.
Yay!
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. It's my cover, everybody.
Oh, Rini,
It's
you're
gonna
gonna
look
be
beautiful
happy when
colored.
it's colored. Oh man,
Yeah, when it's colored, put it like at the top of the campaign too. When you get that all colored.
absolutely. This one,
Put it
this
in
is already
thumbnail.
the featured cover, but once it's colored, forget about it.
Nice. Yeah,
I'm
looks great.
looking forward to getting it.
Are you gonna like make it really painterly as well? Like you're gonna have? Is that what you said on Bancrofts?
Yeah. So
Cool.
it's gonna have very much kind of like a painted feel. If you
Awesome.
see the volume 1 cover that was painted, digitally painted, it's gonna have a very similar feel to that. She's got a really. I mean, this is just a beautifully rendered picture. you really got to do it justice.
Yeah, it's badass.
I'm looking forward to it. Yay!
I love
Your
how it
colors
has like
is great too.
the two worlds in the background too, like the more South American and then the Japanese inspired.
Yeah, you got the ziggurat over there, and then you've got a feudal Japanese temple or castle. So I mean, it's pretty dope. And Rini's so awesome because like you know how it is, like you have all these different ideas about things and you don't always kind of put them all into play, but she was like very much like, so kind of what are the, what's the symbol? What's the family symbol? And I'd actually thought about that, but I hadn't implemented that anywhere in the book. So I mean, it's like that flag is actually, symbol for the family Nakamura, but then we added some other cool things in it, like the snake eating its tail, the Ouroboros, and
yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but it's not just a circle around a sakura. It's an Ouroboros around a sakura. I'll send you the high res because I built that in Vector.
Oh yeah, please. That's so dope.
You can just use it.
And that's the fun when you like work with people who really care about things and love things, because she didn't have to do that. She could have just been like, oh, well, just throw whatever's on here, and I'd have been happy. But this, I was like, oh yeah, this is dope.
No, thank you for asking me for the cover. It was fun. It was fun. And the two worlds idea, that was John's direction, by the way. He was like, I know exactly what I want. This is the story. It's between feudal Japan and it's about ancient South America. So just like mash it together and hopefully I did it justice.
He did it absolute justice. I mean, more than that. Absolutely amazing. Get that cover, people. You will be glad that you did.
Do it now. Bet this.
Do it.
It's 200 something pages for like a really low price point too. Holy crap.
It is a lot of pages.
That's a steal. You can divide two worlds.
Yeah.
I don't think it's divide two worlds. I think it's like Bobby Chrysav says his only complaint is she's wearing clothes. Well, maybe that'll change in the book.
Wait. Is it
this book right now?
Is it really 350 nearly pages for only $25 dues?
No. So that would be if you got all the books. So I was just letting folks know that like there's 350 pages worth of Black Tiger material that is there.
Cool.
So I would love to get to a place though, especially kind of after these initial campaigns where I can really start, and that's been on my mind, really start bringing down some of the price points. But, right now it's just, especially with the initial printing, gotta try and cover.
Yeah.
Production costs.
Still really good.
Yeah, same. I have the same struggle. Whereas with crowdfunding, it's hard to, like, you need the price points at that point just because our print runs are so small. But then I worry about, I can't lower the price point later because I can't charge more after or I can't charge less after the campaign. So what I'm hoping for is I want to get to like the collected editions. Wait, we lost Phil.
It's my stream now.
What the fuck happened? Okay. Anyways, Phil's good. Okay. I want to get to the collected editions where I gotta offer you guys the entire arc because my story's broken down into arcs, and you can just get like it'll be like also 200 something pages with all the supplemental material in like one big book and with a new cover and everything, and it'll be like worth more per page or like more bang for your buck per page.
Would you use like a lower paper stock? I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but
I always use really high paper stock though. That's part of the problem. So I actually ran into this issue where I think with Fiendish 1 I used, depending on the cover, because we had a few print runs, but it was always 70 to 90 pound paper stock. With Fiendish 2, I was like, because I was told the price between like 80 to 90 pound and 100 pound was like the exact same. So I was like, let's use 100 pound. Then I ended up having the problem of the book's way too much. So it had all this shipping that you have to be under 4 pounds, and it's just
Yeah.
like barely over 4 pounds. It's because I wanted to use the nice paper that my books were like just a tiny little bit too heavy. So I was like, I fucked myself over by wanting to make my books nice, but you guys are getting nice books, so it's worth it.
You know, I think that's kind of where our hearts are at, though. I've been using 100-pound as well, and it's just like, I mean, it's like you want to make it. You know, people have come alongside you in this venture, and you want to give them the very best quality.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's my thought process too. They're supporting something at the ground level, so I want to give them. That's where the stretch goals, and that's why my campaign covers are campaign exclusive. It's because you have something that is collectible and is exclusive. And you know, I'm hoping my project is successful. It also, of course, I wanted to be successful because I love my project, but hopefully it'll be worth it for the people that supported it at the beginning because it's an investment. That's what I'm hoping on offering. But I know they're paying a lot, like $25 for a book, so I need to make it worth it and make the books really nice.
That's right. That is the conundrum, people.
Yeah.
The retarded thing I want to do is make the box deal like as cheap as possible because I'm like, people are buying tons of stuff at once. I want to give them a massive discount because like a bundle deal.
Welcome back, Phil, to your own stream.
My laptop like shut off randomly. Maybe
exploded.
Oh.
You're supposed to plug those in. Or
Phil, are you playing Street Fighter?
Mortal Kombat. I just got it. It's the new one.
Oh, nice. Is it good?
I don't know yet.
It's a fighting game. Of course, it's not good.
No. The design is good. The character that I want to play, you have to beat the whole game to unlock. It's like, what is this? Is this 2001? What's going on here?
Is that not cool though? Come on, is that not cool?
It's not cool. It's literally not cool.
Yeah, or pay like $5 probably.
Because here's
if
the thing.
you can pay for it, then it really wouldn't be cool.
No, I'd rather spend the $5 not to spend 6 hours to play this freaking character. Now, I don't know why they did this because with the last game they had
retro
that as an option. Because for tournaments, every system now is going to need to have story mode unlocked to have all the characters.
Yeah.
So they should come out with a retroactive patch that you could maybe specifically in tournament mode, all characters are always unlocked, or I don't know.
Oh, they can do an update. They can do stuff like that easily.
And then I'm going to be pissed because I'm going to spend all night playing this fucking story mode for 6 hours to unlock this character. And then tomorrow it's going to be, oh, you could have just done this thing because we're fixing it for tournaments. So
just don't play it. Just throw it in the bin.
That's my life right now.
I'm sorry, Phil. I feel you're suffering.
It's okay.
I'm not sorry. You deserve it.
That's what I actually meant.
Is that the brutal honesty that we're talking about?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Vaughn's in chat talking shit about something.
He's always talking shit.
Yeah. When is Vaughn not talking? It's okay, Vaughn. I'm only joking. It's true though.
No, he is always talking.
Yeah, he's always talking.
It's actually like amazing. I don't understand.
Wow.
It's a skill.
Amazed by Vaughn.
It's a special ability.
Yeah, we let him make books cheaper. Reality is a bitch. Yup.
Yes.
Yep. And I don't want to complain too much, but really, making products costs a lot. And I don't want to
print them on shitty paper, put the shipping label on the book directly, throw it in the bin.
I mean, I say money where I can. For example, there's some things I do where, so the mini prints that are the stretch goal items, like I found really good factories for a bunch of things. I found a factory in in Taiwan that makes like the world map and a lot of the little trinkets, that everything that isn't like printed on paper. I found I actually know a couple places. I know people, guys. I got connections.
You know a guy.
I know a guy, but not. I don't think like I know people that can make everything, but they're pretty good. And they made the world maps. They make my standees. And for the books, like I refuse to fucking print shit in China. Like nothing I ever do is ever produced in China. It's a pet peeve of mine. So like, well, I'll pay more to get it produced in the U.S. But I'm like, I know them. I know I can directly talk to them, and it's just like the quality I want. I think it's just for my peace of mind, you know. Like, yeah, I know that they'll be accountable.
I found a really affordable way of printing comics, printing them in China.
I hate you.
Yeah, do
that. No, the interesting thing is you could probably there are printers where you would like get them from somewhere that isn't China, but then they would end up just being a broker and print through China anyway sometimes, which sucks.
Yeah. I actually do know printers in Taiwan that probably have price points that are like just about the same as China or a little tiny bit higher. But the thing is, they don't speak English.
Yeah, but how do we know that the Chinese mafia isn't muscling them around for money, and they have to give them a monthly
Chinese
fee?
Mafia? What the fuck?
Yeah, they're coming into Taiwan and they're hassling.
Well,
you know how like
the
mob
Chinese
does?
mafia is a government, and they haven't yet invaded.
That's what I'm saying.
So when that happens, I'll be sure to let you know.
They're not secretly.
I'll be sure to let you know. I'll be sure to let you know when the mafia takes over my country.
It's funny to just say, that's what I'm saying whenever you get corrected.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
It'd be so annoying. The most annoying shit ever. Jake turned on his evil glowing orb.
No. I looked at some risque images and I turned on my carnal powers.
Oh, we didn't need to know that. No, this is just.
Dango Solo says Jake doesn't give a shit about quality. I'll have you know, my books will be amazing quality, the best. I'm even doing an exquisite edition, which has like the autistic foil version of a cover and everything. And I actually found a printer that can do 2-color printing, not as a special thing. So I might even be able to do 2-color printing for the Drake Bristle book, which is going to look fucking awesome. And that same printer is in France and can do custom-sized hardbacks. And
oh, that's even worse than China.
Gross.
So if someone out there wanted to do Bond Destiny size, that printer can probably do that size. Just saying.
James Bond.
Yeah, there are.
Because Camel wouldn't tell me who his printer is, I had to do my own research and then ended up finding like way
He
better
didn't
stuff.
tell you?
No.
There are a lot of. That means Phil knows, so you need to dig
No,
information
I
out of him.
No, he won't tell anyone. He won't tell anyone. Which is fine. Which is actually it's not it isn't passive aggressive. It's completely fine.
It's like it's fine. It's fine. Totally fine, Camel.
I'm only telling very specific people about the printers I found.
I don't want my books to smell like cheese.
What?
They just print it on cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, because they're French. Oh my god.
Either France or Wisconsin. I don't know where you printed.
You get each page toasted into a slice of baguette.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So what's up? What's up with just
John? Did you go to Matsuri this year?
I did not go to Matsuri this year, brother. Just had stuff with the kids and I couldn't make it. I wanted to go just to check it out. I mean, I wasn't going to go with. I didn't go. I wasn't going to go with Brandon this year, but I wasn't able to.
That's pity.
Quite unfortunate, but it sounds like you guys had the time, though. You guys had.
Tampa was great.
Yeah, you guys.
Well, Tampa really was the best. Speaking of Tampa, I have my I don't know if I've shown it. I have my certified Dungeoneer hat.
Sweet.
Yes.
I don't know if I'll ever sell these, but I could if anyone wants it. I have the Dungeoneer hat Then I have the certified Fungineer variant of the hat.
Engineer. I like these.
For people who don't want to be like, I don't want to say I'm a Dungeoneer. Well, you can be a Fungineer.
Yes, makes you feel better.
There's only two kinds of people in this world.
Fungineers. Fungineers. That's great.
Onion.
Yeah. I don't want to commit to the bit. I'll be a Fungineer.
Oh my god. No, those are great. I would like one. I'll wear this proudly. It's a fun fucking time.
Which one do you want? I'll send it to
know.
your PO box.
I like red, so I want the red one. That's what matters to me. I need
know,
my
I mean,
wardrobe to match.
You can get any of these in any color, but
you
know, you've made them from the exact same place.
I'll just get them made on my own damn self. Send me the designs.
No, I already paid for them to convert it. That's, you know what I mean? On Printful, you have to pay for them to digitize it and stuff. That's why I said I'd do it. I did send 3 of these to your PO box though, because I managed to give Narwhal one in temper. I gave Narwhal one. You could have taken more, by the way. One of these in temper. It's my favorite brush pen, which I think is the best brush pen in the world. But yeah. So I don't know if it got delivered yet, but there should be 3 of those.
I haven't checked, but thank you. I'll go take a look someday, sometime in the future. Eventually.
That's dope.
Much appreciated. Bunch of smelly baguette commies. I don't know if the French are commies. But... What? How am I ungrateful? No, I'm just getting tired, guys. I got up super early today.
We might wrap it. It's 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made it to 3 hours.
Okay.
Woo!
Promo.
Sorry.
Black Tiger.
Promo rounds.
Black
Tiger.
Yeah. Any
Congratulations on the launch.
Any comic that starts with Black Phantom, Black Tiger.
Yeah.
Whenever I say it, I have to sing Black Diamonds by. Because.
Sweet.
I have to.
It's inspiring.
Sorry.
It is inspiring. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Here it is, Black Tiger, Hidden Dragon Volume Dose. Damn. Tell us about it, brother.
So it's the second volume of Hidden Dragon, but it's actually, if you scroll up to closer to the top, it's actually the 3rd installation.
Right.
So you see Hidden Dragon. I mean, so if you're going to read these in order, which I suggest, Legacy. Legacy.
Probably a good idea to do.
You know what? It helps. It helps with the flow of things.
Yeah.
Legacy of Fury is 172 pages. That's the first story arc. Then it flows right into Hidden Dragon, which is 88 pages, volume 1, and then volume 2 is the end of that story arc, which is the last 88 pages. And it's the saga started off with Jin's father being the Black Tiger. The best way to describe kind of Black Tiger is think of it as a mantle that's been passed down throughout history. And her father was the Black Tiger. He dies, and his son becomes the Black Tiger. And but his son is not prepared for the responsibility or the power. So you have a pretty, I think, I call him more of a, I wouldn't call him a villain, but he kind of is an anti-hero. But Jin comes alongside. She ends up becoming the Black Tiger. And then you get to see her story start to unfold. Her brother did a lot of damage to the name Black Tiger, so she's kind of doing some triage on the name and on the legacy of the Black Tiger. And also her father was defamed. He was a cop. So he was defamed both personally and as a Black Tiger. So her real impetus here is to restore honor to her family name, to restore honor to the Black Tiger. She wasn't really looking to be a superhero, but she becomes one, and she's awesome. And she finds herself in the midst of, once the Black Tiger died, there's kind of a void, and there's basically you have a bunch of kind of different gangs in the city, and you know, the police, they end up arming themselves. They get privatized. They get a lot of kind of superpowered gear. You have a contingent of metahumans. You've got different groups out there. You know, you got to have bionic Russians. You know, bionic.
Of course.
Because I mean, what city
those
would
pesky bionic Russians?
They're everywhere.
Doggone it, Organizatia. And she's stuck in the middle, and she's trying to bring order amongst the chaos, but also she's trying to learn the origins and the power that she possesses. So a lot of what you're seeing, you know, whether it's the flashbacks to feudal Japan, the things that are going on in ancient Mayan culture, this is her. You're along for the ride with her as she is unraveling and uncovering what the Black Tiger power really is, and kind of what responsibility she's really taken upon her shoulders, which was really kind of thrust upon her.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fun ride. There's a lot of great action.
I see.
I'm a big martial arts buff, I love fight scenes in comics. I love the continuity, the choreography. So you're going to see a lot of that in the book as well. A lot of different styles. She's a kung fu artist. She fights characters like the Five Fingers of Death, which are basically a group of 5 killers from all with different fighting styles. You have a Filipino stick fighter and a screamador. You have a pugilist from Britain. You have an African wrestler. You have kind of a 36 chambers, Chinese martial artist, and you have a shinobi. And she finds herself, battling the likes of them. They are kind of the hand to a much bigger foe that she has in her future. And then she finds herself also, battling other characters like there's a master of capoeira, a Brazilian character. Oh yeah, so I mean, it kind of gives you a little bit of that, a little bit of that Game of Death feel. So you've got all these different folks with different, kind of different styles, but it's a really fun adventure, a really fun ride.
Oh yeah.
And if you enjoy kind of crime dramas, if you enjoy martial arts, if you enjoy superheroes, it's all in there.
Awesome.
With some historical elements, just because oftentimes history is stranger than fact, So with my own twist on some historical things, super like fun. using characters like Wong Fei Hong, who's Well, so Black Tiger, let me take a step back. It is a martial arts form. And it was a form, so you kind of start with, and there were different systems that came out of different villages. So there's more than one form of, that was called Black Tiger. So you'd have basically, farmers that had to defend themselves from raiders. So they taught themselves. So these martial arts were really, things that people equipped themselves with to be able to protect themselves, because there were no other authorities that were going to come around to help them.
Mm-hmm.
So you have these martial arts systems, and Black Tiger is a martial arts system. And as you learn more about these different powers, you'll kind of learn their connectivity to martial arts, but you'll also learn their connectivity to some other things culturally, which is where kind of the ziggurats come in. So just having a lot of fun with some historical elements and, taking a little bit of license, which I think we do as creators, but doing it in a way that's fun, doing it in a way that's respectful.
Fantastic. Cool. This art is fucking amazing.
There's so much motion.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
There's so much Rod's, like, especially if you're doing martial arts and action stuff. Rod has wonderful poses that he loves drawing. Like, Rod's a great match for this book. You know what I mean? If you have a woman jumping and kicking around, doing the splits in midair.
There's boobs, there's butt, there's splits, there's action, there's great art. I mean, this looks dope.
Just saying. Rod did one of my favorite pieces for CG Vacation, the Black Tiger one.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah. They're kicking the soccer ball while the mini dragon is is pulling at her top.
Perfectly placed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so good. So everybody check this out. People are dropping the links. Thank you guys so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then thanks for tuning in. This was an awesome show. If you guys are watching this later, leave a comment below. Check out all the links of all of our stuff that we're working on right now. Coming out
Sign
soon.
up to Carnal.
Yes, sign up for Carnal. Go back Lost Pages. Sign up for Irene's campaign launching
Phoenix
very
2x5.
soon.
Phoenix 2x5. Sign up for
And
Phoenix.
Hotel Story as well. Sign up for that.
A disgraced hero is plagued by an erotic curse.
And that animation for Hotel Story is really cool, man.
Oh, thanks, John.
I really
Yes,
dig that.
check out that trailer and tune in next week. Whose turn is it next week?
The narwhal?
No, it's you.
Irene?
It's me?
Yeah,
What are you gonna do?
Yep.
Pick it. Pick something to do now. What do you?
Right now.
What to do now?
For the moment. Pick it right now and hate what you picked next week.
And then change it. And then change it on everybody.
Yeah, I'll change it on everybody. It has to be something sexual again. So last time it was edging the audience. This is making you uncomfortable, Phil.
I think putting erection in the title last week, I think, got us surprisingly low views, and I kind of blame. I think it's because it had literally the word erection in the title, and I'm like, I'm not doing that shit again.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, because that was dialogue, right? I remember reading that and being like, "This is a bad place for that pun."
You got the wrong demographic. That's all.
Make sure you're following us too. Everybody here and all of our channels, and especially Irene's because it'll be next week.
Yes, follow my channel. I'm Rainy Draws. I think I know. I have a subject I've been wanting to talk about. I want to talk about more the moral. Vaginas. Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to talk about. On that note,
moist.
I was thinking of talking about. Okay, no guarantees. Don't hold me to it. Morality and the moral core of a story.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a broad subject, but I'll see if I can make a presentation out of it.
Interesting.
Nice.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Go find another stream and tell them the Creative Block sent you. Peace, everybody.
Go watch the playlist. Go watch last week's episode.
Yes, go watch more of our shows. Don't watch anybody else.
Don't go watch any other show.
Wait, I think I forgot.
Why am I not wrenched?
Hold on. I'll wrench you.
No, what? I'm not.
We're still live.
Still live.
I'm very disappointed. Every time for finish.
Watch what you
do.
Black
Tiger.
That's what she's really like, guys. That's what she's like off streams.
I'm like this on stream. What the fuck do you think? What do you mean really like? I'm like this all the time.
Was it?
I want a free wrench.
Timeout, right?
What are you doing?
I want a free wrench. Look, I'm
a This is the secret. This is the
Rini's not a member.
You guys addressed this super chat while I left. Can I hire you for card or some sort of promotional art?
Yeah, sure. There we go.
Good thing you read that.
Otherwise, hire me down go solo for $10. And then this one: will there be a block table in Las Vegas?
Yeah, we should do it. I will.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, please.
I think we'll all
be the best
there.
thing ever.
Yeah.
Feels like nah.
Well, we don't know if Jake will be in Alamo.
You know.
Feels like nah.
Wait, what the fuck is this hatred?
Fine. Do you know what, Phil? Me, Irene, and I will have a table, and you can go have your own Zade's table.
What if we do? My idea is we all need a block.
Oh, like
A
4
creative
booths.
Yeah. Like back-to-back little area.
I could do it.
Hopefully, when things get announced, like the actual convention gets announced, we could actually do a whole CG area, all of our buddies, in a line, alcove.
Yeah. Like a haunted mansion.
As of now, the plan is that I think we're all definitely going, right? I think so.
Yeah, definitely. If they don't try and end the world again, I'll be there.
Yeah, I'm going. I want to table both Alamo City and Vegas, and I want a booth. And Lord knows I have enough shit, anyways.
I'll have a book there. It'll be my first book I put out. It'll either be a full book or a preview book of 2 books together. I'll definitely have something.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right.
Woo!
Sorry, I forgot about those. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night.
Goodbye.